I went to an Italian place, like Italian restaurant for takeaway, and I wanted the fettuccine marinara, and they were like, "Oh, out of all the menu, the marinara is the dish that we don't give out in takeaway." Why? And I don't know. I asked them why. Like then they wouldn't tell me why. It's like out of all the dishes, we don't take out the marinara. But they still
serve it.
They serve it. There's like, and then her next question she was like, "Oh, do you want to dine in and eat it?" And I'm like, "No, I want to take away.
I want it to go. Thank you.
I want it to go." And I got worked out. I got worked out about it, bro. Yeah. Like I was in the car, I was screaming at the traffic
over pasta.
Yeah, over pasta. I was like, "Fuck, bro, drive!" And why the fuck wouldn't they give me the marinara? Shit.
I just wanted some marinara.
I just wanted some Italian food and freaking seafood on it. You know, like
here when someone tells you can't have it, you want it.
You know what? They would have been better off by saying like, "Oh, we ran out of the ingredients for marinara. We can't serve you." Therefore, I know like okay, there's no chance that I could have marinara from this restaurant. But they didn't serve it. They said that we don't serve it for takeaway. Then I was looking at the back kitchen. I'm like, I know there's some seafood there.
They didn't give you a reason as to why.
No,
they didn't serve you.
I have to bring it down to racism right now. I just wanted marinara.
That's what it comes down to.
Damn.
And then I went to another Italian restaurant, and this is when I know that I've become an older Atito type of person. I went to the restaurant and then I ordered the marinara, and I couldn't help myself.
You went to a different restaurant.
I went to a different restaurant.
I ordered them. You drove to one Italian restaurant. Yeah. Tried to get takeaway marinara.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't get it there. You went to another one.
Yeah, and in between, I was complaining to myself.
Yep.
And complaining to the traffic, and then I went to the other place, and then they're like, "Do you do fettuccine and marinara?" And they're like, "Yeah." "Do you do it for takeaway?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "All right, cool." And then I was like trying to hold it in.
You had a tear in your eye.
And then I was like, you know what the other Italian place did?
He complained.
You know what I can imagine?
They weren't even giving me the marinara. They had it there.
I reckon Raph's like legs just kicking, just like, I'm gonna say it, and then you just blurted it out.
Can you believe these people? Can you believe the audacity? You know what? The gall.
Not only.
What did they say, Raph? What did they say? Were they like, oh yeah?
They're because they're serving me and they're giving me what I want, and they're like, "Oh, I just don't understand it. It's just takeaway. Like, what's the difference?" And then I was thinking, like, what if I dined in? I could have just found a loophole. Dined in and be like, "Can I get the fettuccine marinara?" And once it comes to the table, I'll be like, "Oh, I gotta go. Can I have a takeaway?" They can't deny it because they already made it. I'm like, I should have done it, but I know.
You know what? You should have ordered the fettuccine marinara in just what's it called, to eat in, and then ask for a takeaway.
That's what I should have done. That.
Can I also get a takeaway container just for no reason?
Didn't you just listen to what I just said?
Hey, what about?
Anyway, what if you dined in, right?
Yeah. That's the right. What if?
Just say, "Oh, I'm full."
Yeah.
You know what if you also? This is what my dad does. My dad does this shit.
What if you ordered it to eat in, but also asked for a doggy bag to take away?
My dad does this shit. I have a brilliant idea, and then we're having a conversation in a dinner. We should do this for a family outing.
What do you reckon is a good idea for this?
And then my dad would come in and be like, "You know what would be a good idea?" And it'd be my idea. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Wait, how's the marinara?
It was great. It was awesome. And you know what happened when I came home? I complained it to my wife. It's like, I enjoyed this marinara. But you know what happened to the first restaurant I went to? They couldn't serve me the marinara for takeaway.
I feel sorry for that second Italian restaurant because they gave you exactly what you asked for, and they also copped you ranting.
Yeah,
and another Italian restaurant.
And secretly, if they read into the message, they found out that they were the second option.
Yeah. But how about this? Did you put in a review to that first restaurant?
I totally forgot. I'm going to do that tonight. About 5 days ago, they could have served me marinara.
Bro.
I ordered.
Bro, that's a rookie mistake, bro. I've been so mad at things that I do a review on the moment I go out the store.
Eventually, they're going to start giving that marinara for takeaway. But I'm going to go there every single week just to see when they change. And when they do change, I'll be like,
It's a lot of effort.
I know. This how much of hate. This how much hate is building up towards me. I'm gonna go there every single week, ask for the marinara, and take away.
Yeah.
If they don't give it, I'm gonna leave. And when they do
You
say,
record it on your calendar.
yeah, and when they do say that you can take it away, I'll be like,
I ordered the fettuccine
that's when I'm gonna explode.
marinara.
I started that movement.
I just want some marinara.
I'm trying to figure out why not takeaway.
I know.
I reckon like so many people complained about, like, he got home and it's like, oh, this food's shit.
Not good.
I have no idea. I don't know if they're trying to serve it for the people who are like they're dining elite people and stuff, and that walk in and be like, oh, I want this fettuccine marinara.
Your rant is really that you're pissed off you're not a dining elite.
Yeah, this is a classism rant right here.
It is racism. See,
It is all racism. It's like this guy definitely
It all
doesn't
comes
look
back
like
full circle.
he's wearing he's wearing a pixelated shirt. He doesn't know how to dress.
It reminds me of
Does not deserve marinara.
It reminds me of when I was in San Fran, and I ordered a coffee. I usually get macchiato.
Yeah.
And
What do you get?
macchiato. Macchiato.
Macchiato.
Macchiato. How do you say marinara? I say marinara. You probably say marinara.
Marinara.
I say marinara. I mean, I say it like that, but no, marinar. I don't know how to-
Macchiato.
But the only reason why I say macchiato is because, like, when it was introduced to me, that's how I like a friend of mine who is Italian said it. That's how you say macchiato, so that's how I say it every now. But anyway,
How about with Sweden?
Sweden is, I don't know why I say it like that. I just do.
Macchiato.
But yeah, back to your macchiato.
Macchiato. Anyway, I ordered a macchiato from this coffee place in San Fran, and the guy was like, "Oh, we don't do it takeaway because it doesn't travel well."
The drink or
The coffee. And I'm like, "What do you mean it doesn't travel well? Just put it in one of the cups." And he's like, "Oh, we don't have any of the little ones." I'm like, "I don't care. I just want 2 shots of coffee."
Denying someone for takeaway, giving food for takeaway, is some arrogant shit. Like they're saying that, like, this doesn't really affect our financial stuff.
It's pretentious.
Our financial is so good that we can decline you from getting something that is right here. If I go back to the fridge, I'm gonna see some seafood and some marinara, and I'm just not gonna give it to you.
It feels like that's something that, like, it is an elitist shit to do, right? Say, for example, Jiro sushi. You're not gonna go, all right, sweet, like, let me put that on a doggy bag and then I'll eat it on the way out.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's certain people or certain places that deserve that shit.
You don't go to
but
the
not a fucking.
you don't go to the cut and
cafe.
then get. Is it the cut? The best, one of the best steak places.
Yeah,
in Sydney?
I suppose like the roast places. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those things, and you don't go there and go, I'll get a medium rare steak with the.
Oh, the whole medium rare thing. Like, you just that could be cooked however the fuck you want it to be cooked, right? But if you ask for a steak that's well done, you're an idiot. Either way. But I'm just saying, it's your choice.
Unless it's beef
not up
steak.
to us.
It's like, unless it's beef steak.
But if you ask for that takeaway,
yeah, exactly.
It's gonna get cold on your drive home.
I mean, I think, your choice is your choice in terms of steak and like in.
But
how
if you do
how you like
choose
your,
it, you're wrong. But
But I get those restaurants because they're high prestige and stuff. Their whole menu
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
what I'm
take away.
saying.
But
No.
you can't just have one dish you can't take away.
well, yeah,
If
that's
you're gonna
true.
fuck me, go balls deep. Like you can't just
Everything.
have the whole thing.
Yeah.
Have the whole.
this rant has gone there. This rant has gone there.
Pause.
Damn. Rap gets hard when it comes to the food, bro.
Bleep it out. Bleep it out.
Don't take that snippet and just use that against me.
Damn.
Well, I'm just saying.
Balls deep.
That's
If the
hard.
marinara can't be taken away, then the what you call it, the carbonara,
his
can't,
hand too.
the spaghetti can't even be taken away. All right.
If you can't serve me the fettuccine marinara for takeaway, then just may as well go balls deep.
Just don't give me anything. Just do anything. Meatballs deep, meatballs deep, bro. Not even the meatballs, spaghetti. You can't even take that away. Like, I don't know. It's just I just don't get it. I've been
Is this
thinking
a top
about it for the
tier?
last 5 days.
Don't get it.
Is it a top tier restaurant that you went to?
No, it's Mitch and Barry. Friggin' product of it's Italy shit. I might cut that part out. But I might bleep it out. But shit.
Shout out to all the Italian listeners. Italian restaurant listeners.
Oh man! I guess we've offended all of the Italian restaurants.
No. They just offended me. Like, I walked in there and be like, you know what? I'm gonna have a good day, have a good night, eat some spaghetti, fettuccine marinara, and order it.
Are you sure it was like they didn't think that you were picking up like someone's takeaway because like you look like an Uber driver?
Oh, that's happened a few times before. Like,
they go, no, we've had so many people order it and not pay for it.
That happened to me. That happened to me.
When people do that shit, I feel offended. Because if you're gonna think I'm a Uber driver, like a Uber Eats person, make me feel like I'm a competent one. Do I look like I have a bag? Do I look like an Uber Eats person that doesn't bring a bag, to keep the food warm?
Do you want me to answer that honestly?
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, if you're gonna like profile me really nice, profile me as a competent person, not a dumbass who's a freaking Uber Eats driver.
That happened to me the other day. I was buying some food for my parents, and I went to Red Rooster and like walked in, and the first thing the guy said to me when I walked in was like, "Menu log?" He said it to me, and I looked at him like, "Nah, I'm
just go, no man, I don't log." Do you log, man?
Should be like Topsy log?
Topsy log. Chixie log? Oh man.
Menu log?
I don't know. Well, at the end of the day, I got what I wanted from another place, and they served me nicely.
You know what? I feel like because of COVID, a lot of places would have gotten used to doing takeaway for everything. Right? Because people weren't allowed to dine in. But maybe this is their way.
That's some bullshit. You're not going to give me marinara because of COVID? Fuck off.
Maybe this is their way of trying to get people back into the restaurant, because maybe the marinara, the fettuccine marinara,
that's the thing.
was there.
Was that the reason why you went there?
What?
The marinara specifically?
I go to all Italian places for marinara. That was just the closest one there. Now you're gonna make me drive further for something like that.
I'm legit trying to figure out
drive
why.
an extra 100 meters to go to a different Italian restaurant.
Fuck. Anyways, that's my rant for today. I don't want. Okay, we should end this trend of me ranting about something at the beginning of the pod. But I blame this all on Jollibee. Shit.
Wow. An episode ago. He's still not over it.
I'm joking.
Still salty about that
joking.
one.
We're getting some news that, this could be actually a legit thing. So I don't want to ruin our chances.
I want to have a conversation with them, and then hopefully they've seen that video, and I want to be able to talk to them about it. Because if they're unimpressed by that, I'm going to be cracking up laughing the entire time. Like, you guys know me. Every time we get negative comments on the videos, I'm just like, oh, here we go.
Bro. He just gets uncomfortable when people compliment him.
Yeah. If you compliment me, then I'll be like, shut up.
All the haters out there, if you really want to get under one of our skins, just compliment Don.
Yeah.
Don't hate him, because he just relishes in that shit like a marinara.
He gets a hard.
It's like a seafood with marinara, and relishing in that sauce of hate.
Deny him of his marinara.
Yeah, deny him. Like how I felt.
Tell him how nice his arms are.
Yeah. Just tell him.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
for some reason, I don't know why.
Yeah, tell him
compliment me.
Like don't say it once, say it twice in a row.
One for each arm.
Yeah, one for each arm. He's handsome.
He's fine.
He's adorable. Talk about his deep voice.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh man, you sound like you're like from radio, and you got a soothing voice.
Other than arms, his peck, so you can say he's peck. You got a nice peck done.
Thanks, I think.
You're just one big peck.
You got a peck with nipples on it.
All right, I'm gonna save us. Yo. Welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast. My name is Raph. This is episode number 183.
183.
And I'm here with my usual suspects of Fine himself, doing stuff.
What's Fine doing? I don't know. What's doing?
We needed to be saved, Raph.
Yeah.
He was spiraling.
It's like, oh, this is not a good start.
Yeah.
And we have the biggest peacock on the podcast, Mr. Garcia.
Zips up.
You know what happened the other day? I got noticed.
We don't need to hear that shit, bro.
You know, Base Hat is really going well with the fans.
I think today's episode is Raph being salty about
I know,
something.
I'm really salty. I got a few things actually I'm salty about. We'll talk about it later. And all the way in London town, looking like the modern day Eminem with his outfit all black and brown. We got Nats blazing.
Okay. I don't know where this is going, man. I'm like, whoa, where is this going
Got
today?
the Kanye shirt on.
Woo, we in for a ride,
Hey,
people.
bro.
Okay.
You know, it's one of
can
this is
taste
one of
that
those
salt.
days, bro. And plus, I don't know. I think you
Salty.
guys know that maybe when my complaints go out there, the passionate Raph is an entertaining one. So I'm gonna give you more entertainment and more, you know. If more people fuck with me, then the more entertained you guys are. So I guess that is
The moral of
that
the
is-
story is fuck with Raph.
that is the sacrifice that I am willing to take for the pod. To be fucked
Take it
around
for the
everywhere,
He's a team player.
and I'll be a team
You're a
player.
team player.
Do it for the pod.
I know.
You know, that was one of the things I was thinking about. I didn't get my marinara. I was driving in the car. I was like, do it for the pod.
I know.
Just calm down.
I know.
Save this energy for the pod.
I know one of the things is Raph gets upset when we watch a movie and he's not there.
Yeah, bro. How's your bells? How's your cheersing? Cheers! Cheers to not having Ralph over here.
And Don's losing it.
Oh, so salty.
How's your bills?
You know, like I was at home with my phone and I was cheersing to the phone. Like I was a part of the group.
Oh man, it's funny because Garcia and I do like family stuff. We've got family stuff on, and we happen to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Not near me, but
And
they weren't really everywhere.
and
I was nowhere to be found.
And then it was Garcia, and I think we rubbed it in a little too much because Garcia and I both messaged, like we both posted it on our stories. Garcia messaged, "Bro, Raph, you gotta watch this, man."
Yeah. I reckon you do, bro. It's such a good movie.
I know. I just need to find someone to watch it with.
Go with anyone, man.
And then
It was funny because like the stories, like you said it in your story. Then I was like, all right, cool. Because you know how Instagram does that algorithm, and where like, you know, people are just close together, and then after that, it's Garcia's story, same thing. Then it was Ken's story, it was the same thing. I'm just like, wow, this is like
It's one of
this is
those.
like Instagram telling me is like, wow, these guys hung out without you.
This is the FOMO story.
It's the
Oh,
FOMO
man.
story combo hit.
oh man, and then Raph messaged. He's like, "Hey guys, can we watch Doctor Strange together?" He's like,
You know, like if there's gonna be someone that's gonna put an effort in this relationship, it's going to be me.
he messaged that, and I was like, "Is it out already? Like, is it out in cinemas already?"
No man, no. It's out in 5 weeks.
I just wanted to get ahead of it and let you guys know that I want to watch it with you.
Yeah, because like, you know, we can talk about it on the pod too together.
We can only watch Doctor Strange 2 if we dine in. You can't take away that.
You can't take away. Can I get Doctor Strange 2 takeaway, please?
I wish we could do that. Shit, that would be the bomb. Like, I'll take it home. Shit.
Nah, but it's dine in only.
No, fuck. Only for Scarlet Witch.
That's, yeah.
Only.
That's only if they treat it
Only.
like Black Widow. You can take it home. They won't have it in cinemas at all. Topical.
Oh wait.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, I
this
saw
too.
a meme saying Black Widow will drop in cinemas
saw the same one.
in a couple of weeks, and then someone said Black Widow dropped in cinemas like 2 years ago, and they show her falling off in the
cliff.
for the cliff.
Black Widow dropped 2 years ago.
Oh, damn.
I had a chuckle to that
Oh
shit
man,
too.
I had a good laugh, bro.
Damn.
I had a good laugh.
Damn.
Oh.
But yeah, Scarlet Witch is gonna be so good. It's gonna be multiverse Scarlet Witch. We're gonna see different
when is
versions
that
of her, and they're gonna be all beautiful. It's gonna be so good.
So wait, which one comes first? The Doctor Strange?
Me. Anyways, I'm in a silly
1
mood,
minute,
bro.
37 seconds.
I'm in a silly mood, bro. I am.
Yeah, so Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness comes out first.
Yeah.
It is around about early May or something.
Yeah, first
And
week
then-
of May, like May 4th, something like that.
And then Thor Love
May
and
3rd,
Thunder
something like
comes out in June or
July.
July or something.
July, yeah.
Oh, okay.
In between that, there's
This
going
is
to
not
be
that long to go. Like,
Yeah.
in between that, it's going to be Miss Marvel, I think.
Yeah.
On-
So
on
at the
Disney
moment,
Plus.
at the moment they're running Moon Knight,
Mhm.
the Moon Knight series, which is pretty good. I don't know a lot about Moon Knight, but what they're doing with the character and using it for like representation of Egyptian culture and stuff, it looks really, really good. I think that's really, really cool. Have you guys been watching Moon Knight?
Nah, not really. I watched the first
I
episode.
figured
and I was
you
like,
weren't because you weren't adding to the conversation
Yeah,
when I
no.
mentioned Moon
It
Knight.
was just dead silence.
I figured.
Yeah,
I've been watching it. I've been watching it, but it's just funny just listening to you just talk to yourself.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
had that little bit of a rant about his accent last week, and then I was like, "That's as far as I go." Something about QR codes all around.
Go
the thing.
on. You're in Mayans now.
I don't know.
Pussy old fam.
It's doing well. I just want to see where it's going. At first, I thought it was like kind of like Venom with a mummy twist.
The voice thing.
But yeah, the voice is that's Optimus Prime, right?
No.
That dude passed away, didn't he? The voice of Optimus.
The
Oh,
voice
okay.
of Optimus,
Oh,
his name is
shit.
Peter Cullen.
Yeah.
I,
Wait, is he dead?
I'm not sure if he passed away, but that's the guy's name. Well, I know his name because I had a manager who had the same name, and I'm like, "Are you the voice of Optimus Prime?" And he's like, "Nah, it's not me."
Yeah, that dude in Sydney who worked in IT.
Bro,
Do you know the voice
Bro.
the voice of
and
Khonshu?
they should have made fucking Optimus Prime Australian, like because if the trucks stop, Australia stops. Imagine
Let's go.
Autobots.
Let's go.
Let's roll out.
Transform.
It'd be like
Let's roll out, eh?
Autobots, fuck off.
He'd be like, "Right, Autobots, let's go to the servo."
That's their bar because they're like you're friggin'
Yeah.
drinking.
Yeah, no, we get it.
Good one.
Just
Good
making sure we're on the
one.
same
Good one.
page.
Good
No
one.
watering
Yeah,
hole.
yeah,
Yep.
That's where we're gonna have their like
Down
water
by the
cooler
Billabong?
conversation.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
They're having a
Did you watch that movie Cars the other day? So good.
Oh man.
What is going on, man?
I don't know either. It's like, but I just imagine it's like, he's got to talk to Bumblebee. He's like, "Hey, Bumblebee, let's come over here. Let's go have a yarn."
It's so weird
A
just calling
yarn.
anyone Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Like yo Bumblebee. It's like you're not my girlfriend
It was
or
a
anything.
different time.
You know,
Yeah.
like it was a different time. Like calling another man Bumblebee is crazy.
Let's have a yarn. Megatron's trying to destroy the Earth.
Yeah.
Shove it up your exhaust.
Let's.
Exhaust.
Oh man. That's the thing I thought about. Right, we live in Australia, but we don't do enough of the Australian like content or make fun of the Australian stuff because I think it's racist if we make fun.
I know.
of
Yeah, they probably think
the
that we're
Australian,
racist.
Australian accent.
Yeah. See.
But it's not
So
really
we just make
like,
fun of the Filipino accent.
Because we get a bit of a pass for that.
Yeah.
How funny can it get, though?
I don't know. I for some reason I really like the broad Australian accent. So people like Carl Barron,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and Steve Owen. Like
Steve Owen's a god.
Oh, yeah.
We
That-
can't make fun of his.
no, not make fun of them, but like because of Carl Barron being a comedian and like his stuff is always funny,
Yeah.
and then Steve Owen being so endearing, I grew up hearing that accent and being like, I really like that accent. I really enjoy that accent. And hearing it.
Really?
Yeah. But
I mean, I'm not a hater or anything, but this is an accent I fell into. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I didn't really think, like, man, I want to speak, like, Australian accent, you know? It wasn't something that I fucking wanted. It was just a normal thing that everybody spoke it.
Yeah.
So it's just, develop it. I still have a bit of a Filipino English twang because I learned English.
I don't even notice my Filipino accent. People are like, "Oh wow, you sound Filipino." I'm like, "What?"
Wait, is this when you
like,
put it
what?
on?
And this is like when I'm like around non-Filipinos, and they think I'm like, "Oh, you got an American accent." And then I went to America. I sound like more
It's 'cause
Australian than ever.
You said certain words properly. That's
Yeah,
why.
that's it. Properly.
He says properly.
Water.
I used to. My mum.
This is not a capsicum. It's pepper.
It's a bell pepper.
It's a bell pepper.
My mum used to make me read at church, like do the readings at church,
Yeah.
and I would have to practice the reading beforehand, and so I'd have to enunciate my words and like pronounce them correctly and all of this stuff. But so there would be parts of my accent where I would sound American because I'd have to,
Hey,
enunciate the R.
I got a question for you three. Since you guys actually did perform, write your own songs and shit, right? When you perform it, you guys don't sound Bogan Aussie. So do you,
Or
when
Aussie
you
at
write,
all.
like,
Or Aussie at
yeah. So do you actually write that, like, with rhyming, like rhyme scheme? How you pronounce it is going to be very important, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
a lot of drill rap now, when you, it sounds like it's an Australian rapper, but with like a lot of hip hop that we were writing back in the days, or
Yeah.
heard you guys do,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think, oh, that's from Australia. You know what I mean? Do you just take that into account?
Yeah. But then again, like I don't know. This might be a shot at like Australian accent people in music, but I think they just put it on too much. Like they specifically like every song that has an Australian accent has to say short,
You mean like Missy Higgins?
and then rhymes with
Short.
and then rhyme it with "you're gonna get got." Like they specifically put the words that make Australian
right
into
right,
their
right, right.
raps. And
What, this is now, or this is
now,
back then?
but it's probably just me. It's just probably coincidence.
I mean, for me, in terms of the music stuff, it came from what the influence was and what the genre was. When I was studying music in high school, I had to sing musical theatre.
Yeah.
And a lot of the musical theatre was, like, the accent was British, so I'd have to pronounce things in a British accent.
What theater did you do?
Yeah.
I did Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. We
What?
did, yeah. I did that. I was.
Why am I only finding out about this now, Don? I could have roasted you about this shit all these years.
What is it? I don't even know what it is. All I heard was words.
No,
So-
I was just him doing theatre.
Yeah, no, that's like theater. Like that's where I'm going. I was like,
But like,
did
you
you
have
do
to wear
like
those big
Billy
curly,
Elliot and shit?
I didn't do Billy Elliot, but the one that we were studying was Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I was playing. I think I played Joseph, if I remember correctly. I can't remember any of
You
the
have to wear
songs.
tights and shit.
No, I had to wear. It was.
Leotard.
I had to wear a ripped shirt because he gets thrown into the lion
A
pit.
ripped shirt.
Yeah,
Of course.
sleeves were ripped. The thing was ripped.
Even that's is like
That's
over
is like-
over your bullshit.
But yeah, I did that. So when I was singing musical theatre, I would have to pronounce theatre. I'd have to pronounce things in a British accent.
Yeah.
Theatre.
Get back.
Theatre. Instead of like singing in American accent, because most of the pop music or most of the music that I heard was in an American accent.
Yeah.
So you'd sing, like I would hear Michael Jackson, for instance, and I'd say, Billie Jean is not my lover, instead of Billie Jean is not my lover, not my lover. I wouldn't sing it like that. I'd say not my lover, or pronounce the R properly.
British singers and that, they sound American too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ed
this is
Sheeran.
a
I
whole
think singing's
conversation.
different though, right? Singing,
Yeah.
you can get away with it because it's more about tone. Where rap, it's like because it's spoken word, so the accent's a bit more from it.
And it's more
I think
about
so.
authenticity as
Yeah.
well with hip hop.
Yeah,
so
that too.
Here's a
if
question
you're faking
to
your accent, then it kind of adds to
Yeah,
it. you know?
exactly.
question to Nats. Like, I know
Yeah,
that
sure.
one of your biggest influences is Eminem, and I could kind of hear that in the way that you rapped and in your back then. Was that something that you thought of, like deliberately? You're like, I want to sound like Eminem, or is it, or was it something that you?
I think everyone when they start, they just even Eminem tried to rap like Nas when he started, and you could hear it at first,
Really?
and it becomes its own thing as well. But for sure, I was like, that made me want to rap. Like I don't sound black. Some people do. They they put it on as well. But I don't know. Like I wanted to sound like him. I liked his rhyme schemes. That's what I copied at first. Then I kind of eventually made it my own. I don't rap about the same things. Well, I didn't rap about the same things.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I think so. Yeah.
Nice.
It'd be nice
Yep,
if there's some people
Yep,
out there
that's
who'd be
all.
like, you know what, I'm going to start a podcast and I want to sound like the Cheatcoders. Or maybe Joe Rogan. Either one, really. It's one or the other.
I mean, yeah, that would be. I feel like that would be weird, but at the same
Which-
time, flattering. At this, like,
I want to see it.
If you guys want to sound like us,
I want to
then
be like,
sure.
God, this guy's
Fucking marinara.
this guy's definitely Don. This guy's definitely Garcia, and this guy from another country, fucking nuts. Bro.
That's the only qualifying
As long as he's
bit.
in a
He's in a
string.
different country.
Someone
be
has
another
to
country.
fly to another country. Start it. Oh,
You're
man.
nuts.
You gotta be nuts. Well, yeah,
But did you try that? Did you try to sound like a particular rapper as well, Raf?
yeah. I try to sound like Nats.
That's the Pinoy
You know,
rapper.
back then, though, people said me and Raph sounded the same.
Yeah.
And I think it came down to, well, one tone and the type of beats we rapped on.
Yeah, that's it.
We're
We're
the
kind of
same.
like doing the
We
same
hug
music.
each other's beats. Yeah.
I was more lyrical. Sorry.
Lyrical miracle.
I was more
I was more of a,
lyrical
like
and,
a
you know,
storyteller,
better
you know,
cadence
like
and
better- yeah, and,
metaphors. and
Eloquent.
Better
all that.
beat selection.
Just saying. I'll tell you one thing though. There was a time that because there was always the accent debate, and like I didn't have beefs, but people didn't like that I rapped the way that I did.
Yeah.
Well, all of us, our group.
Yeah.
And then there was a time there was a transition, and if you remember, like I'll just use Elo as an example, and there's a lot of guys too. We all started with American accents, no doubt about it. We all sounded like that, and it comes down to what we wanted, who we wanted to sound like, you know,
Your
who we
influences,
idolized.
yeah.
But there was a transition, and now Elo, I like Elo's accent. It's not forced. I feel like it is natural. He is
Yeah.
rapping with his natural.
Because when
and
he
it goes
talks,
back
he
to what
sounds
Raf's
the
saying.
same.
Some people-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sounds that exactly. But for me personally, I couldn't do it. Like I think I don't even sound like I do sound Aussie, but I don't know. I just can't do it. It felt more natural to me to rap the way that I did. And I don't think I was putting it on too I wasn't making it too Americanized to the extent of like, you know, Iggy Azalea, right? Like she's Aussie. She's like, you know, talks like us too. When she talks in an interview, she sounds quite normal. But I think she really puts on
Oh,
the
yeah, she
American
does.
accent.
She
It's
puts
just
on a,
probably
like,
this
a deep
it's like,
South
it's like
one.
the other way around. When you're putting on the Aussie accent. So I think when you're really forcing the accent, it really shows. But yeah, like I don't know where I'm going with this, but for me, yeah, I just didn't feel I wanted to transition. I know Raph did a switch because you started sounding more Aussie as well, but you sounded way more American at first. You were the same, how we rapped, and then there was that stage, yeah, Elo, even Johnny, who else? Alge, his early stuff, he was American.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
I
very
remember
American
the Elo did some parody of like he started rapping like a really
Eshlad.
Eshlad C or
Eshlad
something,
C.
and it was
Yeah,
it
that
was like a
funny.
really bogan accent and when he was rapping.
Yeah, and that actually turned into a genre. So
He was ahead of the curve. It
was
actually
ahead
became
of
a
the
thing.
Shout out to Elo.
He should have stayed doing that. It would have been like
more respected.
more. He'd be rapping with Cursor.
Shout outs to I found out recently, fun fact, there's an Australian rap group called Deaf Wishcast, and they were the first
Yeah.
group in Australia to rap with the Australian accent, and they're actually from the Mount Druitt area as well.
Hey.
How long ago was this?
Years ago.
Nice.
What
Nice.
about Hilltop Hoods?
They were before that. They were before them.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. That's not far.
You got me there. I didn't have any other artists in mind.
Whoa. Shit. Okay. All right.
Well
You know your
before them.
facts.
And the fun fact was
Okay.
that they're originally from like Mount Druitt area.
Hey, like you gotta love that shit.
Oh.
All right,
Shout
so let's
outs.
move on to the next
Where the- what's
next
where the
segment.
real hip-hop
Let,
is.
I'm gonna go with like the wild thought. You wanna do?
Alright.
you wanna do some wild thoughting? Let's do some wild thoughting.
All right, cool. Well, this was like a legit, like just like a little wild thought, like earlier today, right? Because like being
Did you conjure it
Filipinos,
in the toilet? Sorry.
huh?
Did you conjure it in the toilet?
No, not this time around.
That wasn't even
like-
that was just like a comment. It wasn't even a question. It's
that
hard
was
when
one
I'm
of-
not in the room, you know.
That was one of the comments that we would only hear until re-listening to the podcast. We'd be like, damn.
I know.
It's like Nat's like, wow, they're paying attention
But
this
this
time.
That's with the
But-
savagery.
No, but I got caught off guard because Garcia's like, what? And I was like, oh shit, he actually heard it.
He's mumbling. He goes, I'm gonna say some shit about the guys underneath my breath.
No, like, because he said you went to the bathroom. I thought you, like, conjure up the, you know. I get inspiration in the toilet.
Oh, bro,
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
sorry,
so
like,
much inspiration.
I'm distracting. Just go on, guys. Sorry.
This isn't the wild thought, but I figure it's kind of like relevant because over the weekend, me and Don went to Burger Point, right? And
This is another place. We're just talking about bells before.
yeah.
Burn, bro.
Man, how many
But it's
times do you eat?
We're trying to find places where Don would get like noticed and stuff.
Hey, I wasn't planning on. I wasn't trying to do it on purpose. I wasn't doing that on purpose.
You're asking Don, what do you want to eat? And he's
Yeah.
like, I feel like something
Starts
Filipino.
naming Filipino spots.
Something. Maybe
Not enough
Moose.
foot traffic
How
over
about
there.
Semanong or maybe Burger Point? Maybe we should go there and decide when we get there.
Oh man.
But one of the things I had there was the ube shake, and man, that thing turns your shit to blue purple, bro. Like the next day, I was like, "What the fuck did I eat, bro?" I was like, "Dang!" I turned into an alien, man. I was like,
Turned to
"Fuck."
Thanos.
It
Thanos
was-
came out of your
bruh,
ass.
It was worrying. Like I was thinking to myself, like, this can't be right. It's not that shade of blue. Like it's bright, bro.
Thanos' like line in this shit is like, where did that take you? Straight back to me.
I am inevitable.
Oh.
Your shit's just clicking.
Every time it hits the toilet.
Yeah, it's one of. It looks like the five rings. It's just blotches of shit. Yeah.
Oh man.
But the wild thought.
It takes away like half of the water in the toilet.
Let's go back to this conversation.
Okay,
So
okay, what the-
how did it feel to not be noticed?
Again, I don't go out there to try to get noticed, man.
He brings his headphones and a microphone and sits there like this.
He's got a
I'm
he's got a road mic. with him.
I'm wearing the shirt that has my face on it.
Got the road. Hey, that's where the paper Roadcaster would come in handy.
I just need to call the paper Roadcaster.
But like, how do you feel, man? Did you feel a little bit torn, or
I'm actually, I'm proud that Garcia gets noticed a lot because he's he's always said that he doesn't see himself as a creative person, or I think it's been a long time coming. The world needs to know about Christian Garcia and how funny and talented
Unbelievable!
he is.
I
talented
didn't
he is,
even
so.
know. I didn't
this
even
shit
know
on
you
me
did
now.
stand
all right,
up.
let's flip it.
I didn't
Let's
even
flip
know
it back.
you
How does it
stand
feel to be less noticed than someone who is more thinking that he's not a creative? When you're a creative,
Oh man.
Damn.
I'm gonna.
yeah, this guy's sweating. All right. Well,
No, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Rap's like turning people against each other.
It's like
Jerry Springer.
serious answer. Serious answer because I've done music and because I've done there was a bit of the notoriety with the Filipino foods video and all that stuff. People already knew who I was before, and so I got a taste of that early on.
Oh, so you got the photos already taken back then?
Yeah, all
Yes,
that kind of stuff.
Like, I already took a photo with this guy already.
And with Soul Good and stuff. So it's kind of like that. Like I understand what that's like, and it feels good that Garcia is starting to get that noticeability. So
Yeah, it does feel amazing.
Anyway, how's the DMs going, bro?
It's not bad.
Yo, we should have a segment called Wild Thoughts DMs.
Oh, bro.
Oi.
Yeah,
In the
you should, bro.
It's just gonna be dick pics.
In the Patreon.
What's the dick pics?
It's all one way. It's like me sending my shit out, and everyone DMing. Stop sending me shit.
He's cold calling his dick pics.
Yeah.
He's just cold calling.
Cold calling. Oh, you're Filipino?
They're getting
Yeah,
You should. Oh, man.
Have you heard about my penis?
Have you heard about my penis? How could you hear a penis? It's crazy.
We were joking before we were hanging out that it's like Garcia was like, I've changed. I think I've changed now that I'm a bit more famous.
I wear less pants.
Were we in the car at the time?
Yeah, we were in the car, and I was
I
like,
don't want to say this shit on here, bro.
You can edit it out if you want.
Just go say it.
I just want to hear it.
Well, you're not gonna edit it out. I'll tell you after.
We'll save it for the Patreon episode.
I was like, oh, that trap is set.
We'll talk about that on the Patreon episode if you want to.
We're like,
maybe.
If you want to hear about that story.
I forgot to edit it out. It's already got 1,000 listens, so maybe we should just leave it in. Don't worry, it's content.
Ralph just goes, oops. Yeah, if you want to listen to that story,
that's good.
subscribe to our Patreon. It's go to our website, www.thecheatcoders.com. Our link to our Patreon is on there. Also, we still have the competition going on for the Patreon.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So
Join that, and you can get one of these shirts.
Yeah, so to get into the draw to win one of these shirts, there's also the classic tee up for grabs. I think the new range of t-shirts might also be in the running for that.
Yep.
A choice of the t-shirt, you get a Cheatcoders hat.
Hey.
And also signed, freshly cut sleeves from all of us.
Hey, no, from
No,
you.
from Don.
From me. Well, we are signing it.
But each of us are signing it.
We're signing it.
So
But
if
it's
you sign up to the minimum $5
He's not even gonna wash them. He's gonna keep it unwashed.
Yeah.
freshly cut.
So if you want to clone Don, I don't know why you would, but if you do want to, you'll have that opportunity.
Okay. Let me finish plugging this competition. If you want to go into the draw to win that prize, which is the t-shirt of your choice, the Cheatcoders hat, and also the sleeves signed by all of us, valued at around $80, you got to sign up to our Patreon at the $5 tier.
How much is the sleeves? I just want to see the value of the
break that, bro.
sleeves
What
within
is
that
that? What is
$80.
this? 80.
The sleeves are $10.
Is that how you see yourself? Damn, that's some expensive sleeves, bro.
Mathematically speaking,
We're more expensive than
because our
plastic sleeves.
shirts are $40 each, and if you cut the sleeves off, those sleeves are $10. That's just like a percentage of the shirt. That's how I calculate
in
$10.
fractions.
And, yeah, but that's not our real prices. So if we end up cutting our sleeves and having some sleeveless shirts in the future, they're not going to be cheaper.
They're not going to be.
I'm just clarifying that now, just to save our ass in the future. Future Cheatcoders, you're welcome.
But yeah, go into the draw to win that. You need to sign up to the Patreon for at least the $5 tier.
Yeah.
We'll be drawing
Yeah,
it.
boy.
It's going to stay open until mid-May.
Mid-May, we'll draw it on our Patreon, one of our
Yeah.
Patreon episodes.
Yeah, and we tend to get.
And there's a new range coming out. I'm going to announce it right now. A new range is coming out
Ooh yeah,
in May.
new range.
It's going to be 3 new shirts.
Can we say what
Fuck
they
it,
are?
let's say what they are. It's going to be the Tito Ray Skywalker shirt.
Skywalker.
Boom. The Tito Planet shirt.
Tito Planet.
Hey.
And the Wu-Tang Clan shirt.
Wu-Tang Clan
Yeah.
ain't nothing to fuck with.
Big announcement now. We're going to reveal the shirts in the coming weeks.
Wu-Tang Clan
But
ain't nothing.
you're getting a little sneak preview for listening to this free weekly episode,
Yeah.
bro. But if you want to get that for free and have a chance to, and I'm telling you now, you'll have a big chance if you sign up now to get a free shirt. Those 3 shirts will be included to choose out of, you know? So
Your
please
choice of shirt.
join our Patreon.
Join the Patreon.
All right, back to the wild thought before we got mad sidetracked there.
Tangent.
All right. The thought was, it's like a common thing, like Filipinos living overseas like us, right? From time to time, you encounter like a white dude or like an old white guy, and once he finds out you're Filipino, it's like, oh, my wife is Filipino, or like someone who knows, like, oh yeah, my girlfriend's Filipino and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. I really like pancit.
I've tasted.
Yeah.
I've tasted adobo.
Manny
before.
Pacquiao.
I don't know why I'm
Pacquiao,
I did that.
whatever, like-
That happened the other day. I was walking my dog, and the dude was like, "Hey, are you Filipino?" And it was some white guy, and he was for like, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm Filipino," and he was for like, "Manny Pacquiao."
See?
And then I just walked off. Luckily, I was walking my dog. I'm not gonna have a conversation.
He's retired.
He's
Oh, God.
trying to be president.
The thing that I was thinking was, it's not really that uncommon, right? Like, there's a whole bunch of people that are like that.
Yep.
And I'm kind of thinking they're not all the time, like, where they're meeting these women here in Australia or in America. Like some of these people actually go to Philippines looking for love, I guess, or looking for a wife.
Love.
Like how many 40-day fiance or some shit?
90-day fiance.
90
What
days.
do they call it? What do they call it?
No naked.
Yes, I have no idea.
I think mail order bride is
That's
what you're
the
looking
one.
for.
Yeah, mail order bride.
Oh,
But
man.
like either way, you kind of like you gotta fix that shit up. Like you have to make the conscious decision. There's what I'm saying is like they all have a story, right? And I kind of like to imagine what those stories are like. But my favorite one is like I kind of imagine like say for example I'm an old white guy. Don's an old white guy too, and then we go to Phil's together.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna pretend that I'm some sort of royalty, that I gotta sow my royal oats before I come back to Australia. And then Don's like my wingman and shit. We're gonna work at the local Jollibee, pretend that like, you know, we're just there looking for true love. But they're not trying to.
At Jollibee.
They're looking for Queens in Queens Boulevard in Manila.
In BGC.
Yeah. To be loved. Oh, what a feeling.
I'm gonna go to. You guys are gonna go to Balete Drive to be the white men.
Looking for the...
There'll be no white ladies. It'll be just be the white men praying on the friggin'
man.
wood.
And we'll turn that into a documentary and call that Coming to Manila instead of Coming to America.
Bro, that would be that. Tell our listeners out there, would you watch Coming to Manila?
You know, when we get there, it's like, he's like, take me to the most common parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you get into a grab, like a, take me to, Queens Boulevard
Queens Boulevard, BGC.
in Makati.
Oh,
Look at him, man. Oh, our luggage go missing. It's,
And for some reason, when our parents rock up, there's pedals on the floor everywhere. Like, what?
but now's a good time. I am going to Philippines in September. So I am looking for love.
Is this why he brought this? Like, I was wondering where it was going. I'm like, it's going nowhere. It's not doing us any favors.
Of all the 4 people here, I'm the single one who is a bachelor.
Single and ready to mingle.
So
Hey
yeah.
man, if Garcia,
I mean, if they don't,
Hey.
if that's how they read into the whole wild thought today, then maybe that is,
Yeah.
you know. But it's really up to it's up to them.
I have a story about going to the Philippines and then finding love, but I'll save it for the Patreon.
Yeah.
I'll
Love.
save it for the Patreon.
Where did you find it? In your pants?
Love costs
In her
something.
pants.
It was somewhere. I'll tell you that.
all right, yeah, you're going to Philippines, bro.
I am in September.
Nice.
So
Excited,
it'd be
man.
nice.
Let's
So if there's people that are out there, I'm gonna go meet up with Mikhail while I'm there.
Shout outs.
But
Hey.
if there's any other people, like man, I just want to hang out with like
Yeah.
Yeah, have
as
like
many
an event,
people
bro.
as I
Other-
can.
I'm pretty sure
the
we
post
could
up-
do like a meet up,
Yeah, meet and greet.
like a meet and greet.
Wild Thought,
Garcia.
Garcia, meet and greet.
That'd be dope.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
dope.
Can we
That'd be dope.
can we see if like
Bring some
maybe go to
shirts.
Green Hills and get a bunch of beige hats? Sell it as merch.
That's a. You know what? Nah, actually, nah.
Because I think that should be merch now as well. Now a beige hat, but it says Wild Thought.
Nah, I think
Just-
a beige
just
hat
Wild Thought?
with Garcia on it, wearing the beige hat.
That's so meta, bro. There's a
With hockey pucks
ball,
behind him. That's
That's the shit. The way you around. You know.
oh man, I'd like to go as well.
Yeah.
I'm planning on going to visiting my brother in Germany in September.
But
but,
Germany's not Philippines.
I know it's not Philippines.
You're not
but-
gonna find love in Germany.
Oh, if you're gonna come to Germany,
And you're not
come
gonna find fans.
visit. When are you going to Germany? Are you going to
planning
Germany?
for maybe September.
Your brother's there, yeah.
Yeah. So
Man,
Def-
September is gonna be crazy.
yeah.
Four
you
different
come to-
countries.
to
Can you
yeah.
plan
Come
it for October instead?
Come down.
So that I can go to Philippines on the way back.
Yeah.
I'll
And
try.
we can fuck shit up.
Or he could just fuck shit
Shout
up.
out to you, Mrs. Dunn.
Mrs.
We're
Dunn.
just gonna go to church, I swear. Do prayers and stuff.
God is good all the time.
Some of the post up gang are gonna rock up to the Philippines. as
Yeah,
well.
man. Daddy Grub is gonna be coming
Shout
down,
out.
dude.
Oh, no
like so it'll
way.
be
Shout outs.
like partying
Oh,
that up
man.
in Philippines, man.
That's dope.
I think I think it'd be really cool to talk about what they're also going to do over there. They're going to do some.
Well, they're gonna fuck shit up too.
Oh yeah,
With me.
I was trying to allude to them doing stuff for the community, but yeah.
Oh yeah. No. There is. Press up gives.
By fucking him up.
That's on the itinerary. Number 1, fuck shit up. Number 2, donate to charity.
Pretty sure it's
Number
number
3,
4.
fuck shit up
Yeah,
again.
fuck shit up.
Fuck shit up.
Number 3, see number 1. But Press Up gives, man. Like it's that's run by Sab and DJ Philly.
Hey.
And if you guys want to support, it's like just any like little bit helps. You know what I mean? So you've got big corporations that usually take your money, like charities and stuff, and a whole bunch of that stuff go to admin fees. This one goes directly to them. They don't take a cut out of this. It's purely just to give back to the less fortunate. So yeah,
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Like it.
it's
Like spoon and forks. Using the fork to scoop it up into the spoon. I've read that's a Filipino thing. And I'm calling bullshit.
Wait, what?
I've read into it.
Say
So
it
if you
again,
get a
explain it.
spoon and then you get a fork and use it to eat food and to scoop it up use the fork to scoop it up to the spoon and then eat it. That's a Filipino thing apparently.
wait.
What?
I found this out the other
You're scooping something up with a fork. You're pouring it into a spoon.
You're using it to rake
just
into
to rake
the-
it in. To rake it in.
to rake it into the.
Isn't
thing.
that a white person thing?
I
Like
mean-
a white
No,
people thing?
no,
Like,
white
I
people
thought it was a
white people
universal thing.
use a fork and a knife to eat. Apparently, and this is what I learned the other day.
That's
Because
how I've been told too.
I always thought
Although-
that spoon and fork thingy was a white thing and the hand was a Filipino thing. But now I've read into it when I do my research for some Filipino content, and then I found that a spoon and a fork, using that for dinner, is a Filipino thing.
specifically a Filipino.
Specifically a Filipino thing, which I call bullshit on.
Yeah, I don't
It doesn't
think
make
so.
sense.
I always thought that was a white people thing.
I know for sure. Like when you're eating spaghetti or eating noodles and stuff, you take the spoon and you get the fork and you twist the fork against the
Onto
spoon,
yeah.
so that you can, like, just twist the noodles around the fork. It's not necessarily Filipino, but that's something that I learned being here in Australia.
Can you guys clarify, like the guys in the audience? I'm gonna put this as a snippet because
Guys and
I
girls.
really want to know that is using a spoon and fork for dinner. Is that a Filipino thing? Because it's too logical for it to be just
Yeah.
one country thing.
Well, this is how I was taught, right? So, like my fork, like it goes on my left hand. I'm right-handed. This is my spoon. I push it against the spoon and then eat it. Is that what you're saying? Like that's
Yeah.
it. So when, like as a kid as well, before the spoon was around, I just had a fork. So I push it against my hand and then I do this with my hand,
I do that too.
with the thumb.
Yeah. I push.
delivery system.
I don't even use the fork. I use the spoon and I use my hand to push it into the spoon.
You didn't squeeze it like that. You pushed the spoon.
I used it as a fork. That's how lazy I was as a kid. And like I can't be bothered getting a fucking.
You already had a spoon.
I think using a spoon, just a spoon, was like something that was like largely Filipino. In my mind, growing up,
Yeah.
just using a spoon was something that Filipinos would do because you can't really use a fork to pick up rice, right? So
Yeah.
use the spoon if you're just using that one-handed, and then you've got your leg up like this. That's how
Yeah.
that's how you would eat.
My stomach would get in the way. But yeah.
And then when I read that, I kind of got flashbacks from when I was a kid,
Yeah.
when people were thinking it was weird that I was using a spoon and a fork, and then they were using a knife and a fork.
But
to-
we don't need
because
knives
like
we already have a spoon.
we use the spoon. They even thought that was more weird on that.
I mean-
and then you know what's more weird? When I'm eating with a knife and a fork, I rake the rice onto
the
the
knife.
knife, and then I eat it. Like I like to live
just-
dangerously, guys.
You know how I got these scars.
You know how I got these scars. My mom gave me some rice,
And then I raked it onto the knife.
and then I was like, "Why not spoony?"
So did Filipinos create the spork?
That's a white people thing.
That's definitely white people thing.
And then
I think just the combination of just those two things, because like I think white people, this is me speculating because I've been in such a Filipino household all my life. Like white people use the spoon just for soups and stuff, and they use to eat like their food.
They don't have rice
They don't have mashed
With
potatoes and stuff. And
they have fork all this time.
so it's fork and knife for them.
yeah,
And
meat and two veg is what the like I've heard is a Western society type food.
The whole thing with like so obviously we grew up like eating with spoon and fork. I always thought that the spoon and fork was our thing. Like it wasn't something that was introduced to Philippines, because like this is another thing that I've been thinking about.
Your
recently.
thing, as in your family thing, or your
No, it's a Filipino thing. The
Right.
spoon and fork.
right,
like,
right.
It wasn't something that was introduced to Philippines. I thought that was a traditional thing because every house that I went to had a massive spoon and fork in their wall. You know what I mean? So I always thought that was a part of our culture.
In every kitchen, in every Filipino kitchen or household, there is a giant spoon and fork on the wall, next to the Last Supper painting.
Of all the Asian countries and stuff, I think we're one of the like the minorities of Asians that don't use chopsticks as well. You know what I mean? Like you go over to like Vietnam, like even the other jungle Asians, or what we like to call jungle Asians, they all use chopsticks as well.
Would that be part of the colonization as well, because of the Spanish? Because the Spanish people eat with, they probably eat with a spoon and fork. You never know.
They might.
They ate with malice in their heart. They wanted to take care of shit.
I know that. I know that, like in Thailand, they don't necessarily use chopsticks for their food.
No,
it was just something that, like in Western society, people would do because Asian food. They think that, you know, like pad Thai, for instance, is noodles. They use the like the chopsticks. But when I traveled to Thailand, it wasn't a thing.
Maybe they didn't give you chopsticks because they knew. They were like, this guy doesn't know how to use that shit. It's Filipino.
Yeah.
He's got hands.
Every time I go to a Chinese restaurant, they always offer me the spoon.
Yeah.
It's like they know.
That's
it's like they know.
Look at this guy's beard. He's definitely not Filipino.
I don't know what he is, but I'm pretty sure he is a spoon and fork. That was like recently, like a couple of days ago. That's what I found out. I'm like, I didn't even know.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that it was like a kind of like a Filipino thing to use a spoon and fork to eat. It just seems logical. Just everyone does it, you know.
Let us know, listeners.
Let us know. Let us know. It blows my mind. The marinara thing and this thing. I'm like, what?
you know. Yesterday. No. Was it yesterday? Went to.
Where else did you guys go?
No, the burger thing. I saw Don eat a burger with
finding the whole timeline in the
yeah.
It's like, so you went here.
He's investigating this shit. He was eating his burger with a knife and fork, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything now. I'll save this for later.
For context, what I was doing was I was eating the Marvin Glaze burger from Burger Point. We're not sponsored, by the way, but
Don is somehow
sponsor us. And it's got like a sugary glaze on top of the on the bun.
It's a Krispy Kreme glazed donut, right?
Yeah. Instead of the patty or the bread on the top, and so you can't necessarily hold the burger with your hands because you just get sugary glaze all over your hands.
That's the best part. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to use a knife and fork.
He's above using the hands.
So why didn't you ask for a spoon though?
I was going to ask for chopsticks, but they were like, nah, he doesn't know how to use those.
Look at his beard.
Oh, man. But that was the first time. And it was, I think I just looked at the name I didn't really pay attention to
Marvin
the menu.
Glaze.
And I was like, Marvin Glaze, that sounds nice. I'll get that. And then right before it was served to me, I was telling Garcia that, you know what? I've never really enjoyed the burgers that have the donut glaze, Krispy Kreme stuff on it, because I think it's too much. And then the lady put the thing on the table, and I went, guess I'm eating this tonight.
He's ordering stuff he didn't even know.
It's going by the name.
Because I'd always.
Is that how you do with your dating life as well? Just go by the name?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
That sounds like a white name right there. I'm gonna go for that one.
Oh, you're Asian?
But I mean,
I guess I'm having Asian
Talk
tonight.
to Garcia. You know I don't date
you know-
Asian women.
but you
And
know-
then the Asian woman just pops up on the table.
Yeah.
you know what happens
Guess
though?
we're dating.
You know what happens though? A lot of the Asian on dating apps, they'll use their English names instead of their actual Asian names. So
This is very tricky because it's like deceptive. You know what I mean? Let me know. You know what I mean? Oh, well, that's because I'm into Asian, so I'd
mean-
rather if they didn't use their white name.
I mean, I'm not discriminating. So I'm also
I am. No.
I'm also
I want to ask you a question. So, since you're like you're a big like, when it comes to dating, when it comes to women, Asians, you're kind of your thing.
Yeah.
Like that's your number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Asian.
and you'll
Yeah.
hear the rest of this on the Patreon.
I just want you to know. I want to ask because like, what's your thoughts on Asians? We had this conversation way back ago. What's your thoughts on Asians and their no dating another Asian policy?
Ooh, the no
But
dating
that's not
policy.
really.
Bring it back.
Because
What's that
we're not going to be like
I
we're not
know.
going to point out some people, but there is
It is a thing.
It's a thing. There's
Listen,
Asians out there who
yeah.
won't date other Asians.
Listen back to the episode with George Silvino.
All the way in 70 like
yeah.
50s episodes.
Shout out, George.
But like, let's bring it back because like, you know, now we are bringing a new dynamic into the podcast.
True.
Yeah.
Let's reintroduce this topic of
Yeah,
Asians not
a good
dating Asians.
It's
a choice.
It's a preference.
Preference, yeah.
I mean, it's really no different with me going like, me saying like, oh yeah, I want to date Asian girls, or like Asian girls is like my flavor or my preferred
It's your
like,
preference.
dating partner or whatever.
Yeah.
It's really another way of saying I don't want to date anyone else, kind of thing, right? Because it's like this is what I'm looking for, and it's not this. It's not no different to me saying like I don't want to date Asians, because it's just another one of things that you don't want to date. You know what I mean? It's really up to them. I can't make people choose
Oh, no,
what they want. You know?
Like, yeah. It's just come to the point like it's just funny to me how they just single out like the Asians.
The thing that I don't like is when people kind of bullshit and sugarcoat that shit. I say that you have a preference. You like white boys. It's not a. I know it's like some weird kind of like stereotype or whatever, like Asian girls and white dudes or whatever. But if you like white dudes, that's your preference, man. Don't be ashamed of that shit.
You like what you like.
Don't make up excuses like I don't want to seem like I'm dating my cousin or whatever bullshit, bro. I look nothing like I'm like. If a Chinese girl said that about me, we're not gonna look like we're fucking related. There's no chance I'm related to a Chinese girl. You know what I mean? So that whole thing of I don't want to look like I'm dating my brother, my cousin. That's bullshit, bro. Just call it what it is. You want a white dude, like that's cool. Like
There's shout outs to James Rockyer. He and his friend Chailin Huang, they did a podcast called The Elephant in the Bedroom, and they talked about this. They talked about their like preference or like your preference of partners, and they both are dating Caucasian people.
Yeah.
Right. And they actually call it. It actually has a name called sexual discrimination. If you say that, I don't necessarily want to date the particular race, that's sexual discrimination. And listen to the podcast. There's I think there's 6 episodes in there. They basically go through and try to think maybe how do I solve this problem? Like how do I solve this if this is an issue? Do I need to break up with my white partner to save because they're
Really?
both because it's basically like do they have preference based on colonization, or is it this deep-rooted discrimination thing? You got to listen to the podcast for it. I'm not going to spoil
This can get into a real deep conversation, super.
because it goes
It's-
it runs deep, man.
I get it. There's some people that can't really they don't realize why they like the things they do.
Yeah.
Maybe because they just don't know themselves well enough. You know what I mean? But I know myself well enough to know that Asian girls are fucking cute, especially if they got a thick booty. Oh my god! If they got that dumpy, bro, it's like a rarity. So.
I think, in my opinion, not
Shout
my
outs.
my thoughts. In my opinion, is that it's better to say that you have a type than to discriminate on one race. You know?
Yeah.
You can say that you can, as you said, you can say that you like white people. that's your preference. But you saying that you don't want to date Asians and bringing that discrimination to the forefront of your conversation rather than saying that you have a certain type, it kind of rubs people the wrong way. It's like canceling out one, even though they have no interest in you.
How to communicate, right?
Yeah, it's just the way you communicate it. Like it's like instead of saying what do you call it, just say what you like rather than what you don't want.
And I think
it comes down to it's really a communication piece. Some people just don't know how to talk, and when you zoom into that thing, it becomes a bigger thing than what it is. I think because you can say things like for example, you don't even have to say ethnicity, right? What if it's religion? And then you're like, I don't date Muslims. If you say it like that, it kind of
that's the worst time to
comes the wrong way. But
you freeze.
Maybe your intention is I'd rather date someone in the same belief because I know for me that's gonna help my relationship or whatever. You know what I mean? But I don't. I think people are way too sensitive these days, man.
Yeah,
with things.
That happened to me. I was dating a girl who was Muslim before, and I think the difference in religion, like we didn't understand each other's religion, and what happened was we just didn't take the time to understand each other's religion, and that's why it failed. That's why that relationship didn't work out, sort of thing. But yeah, man, it is about the communication piece. You need to kind of like.
And then the short way to say it now, you won't just say that abrupt, right? You're not going to go around going like, I don't date Muslims.
Yeah, that's.
But like when it comes out, you know now, because of this experience or whatever. That's a value that you hold. It could go reverse too. You could be like, I don't date any other race but Asian.
Yeah.
Same shit if you think about it.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah.
It's just how it's communicated.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of things like it's not really my business or whatever, like, what people kind of prefer. But if you're willing to say, you have a preference, like there's, like what everyone's saying, it's more better to say what your preference is rather than what your preference isn't. And just be honest with yourself, dude. Like, I know the whole stigma of like Asian woman, white dude, spanning back like with a lot of us coming from like immigrant families and stuff.
Yeah,
that was a thing that was happening during that whole immigration phase, right? Like where people would go over, like come over here, or people going to Philippines over there to find a wife, bring them back and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's. I suppose I don't want to just like throw it away and say it is what it is or whatever, but if you're a Filipino woman like today and you're dating an Aussie dude or like any white dude that you've grown up with, it's got nothing to do with trying to get to whatever country and bullshit like that. It's a genuine thing, but you're kind of getting faced with that stigma of like, oh, look at this other like Filipino girl with a white dude. Like, fuck those cunts, man. You know what I mean? It's really what your preference is. You've fallen in love with a white guy. That's cool. Like that's what it is.
That's cool. That's what.
But there's none of this bullshit of like I don't date Asians or because they look like family or whatever.
Because that's discrimination, basically.
Well, it's really just Is this the same? Like, why don't you date the other people then? Like, it's.
There's like so many like I don't know when it comes to singling out a race. And in a negative way, it just comes off wrong because like there's a lot of races in the world, and then you go out of your way just to single out this particular race and be like I don't date Asians, instead of saying like I prefer white people. Instead of that, like I think it's more so a communication thing, and plus I do understand the pro culture type of people who'd be like I want to continue the culture of Filipinos, and I want to date specifically Filipino just to continue the culture around, like.
And there's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to say that's a wrong thing to think, like because like if you're pro culture and you want to continue the culture, and by doing that you have this mindset of like I can only date Filipinos, then that's you.
That's just them being honest to themselves.
Yeah. You can also still be culturally Filipino if you're half Filipino. Like we talked about not like you can't quantify being a particular culture. Like we grew up in Australia. For a long time, I was like, I feel like I'm more Australian than I am Filipino, but I am still culturally Filipino because I grew up. I have both Filipino parents, and so that makes me also Filipino, but also Australian. So I
think they just think way ahead I think these type of people are people who are thinking that I want to continue the culture by dating Filipinos. They're thinking so far ahead because when you date, say, like a white person and your daughter becomes half Filipino, then he dates a white person and then becomes quarter Filipino, and then the Filipino just becomes very minimalized down the future type of thing.
Yeah.
I think when people are pro culture, they try to think of the lineage way far ahead than the generation next. They think 5 generations forward. They want to have some Filipino in this,
You know
in this
who
name
else?
type of thing.
You know who else did that? Hitler. That's called eugenics. That's called eugenics when you're just like I want the ultimate Filipino. Like my partner.
I was
needs
just
to be
trying to
Filipino.
talk about that side, and now we brought Hitler into it. Let's move on to the next.
That's a big joke. But no. Like
Fun fact.
there is a like. This is a massive conversation that you could have, and one of the other things as well. Like when you talk about when a lot of people talk about preference, it's either, if they're Asian, it's either Asian or white people. Like, why don't we consider other races, other cultures? You know what I mean? I think that's why I made the joke. I'm like, we've talked about this before, long ago. I made the joke like, all the white guys are, taking the Asian girls, so I'm gonna date only white girls as a joke.
And then you did it.
And then I did it, and I was like,
method acting.
That was a joke that ran for so long.
I mean, I was.
It was a marathon run,
Hey,
bro.
man, I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my
Forrest
word.
Gump of jokes, bro. It just kept running.
You brought that joke to Singapore.
Oh my god! Oh, that cuts deeper than you think. That cuts so much deeper than you think. Oh my god! But like, you know what I mean? Like, it was wrong of me to only think of like that in a binary sort of way. Because there's so many people out there, and it's more about the values now. When I think about it, like I want to be with someone who shares the same values as me, who I have shared experiences with. So.
I think it's such a shallow shit to say too, because that girl that you dated for so long, you didn't date her just because she's white. You dated her because she actually liked all the other shit that she was doing at the time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had we enjoyed the same things, and so commonality. Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you love this person, and you went out with this person not because of their ethnicity. They just happen to be white. They just happen to be this. They happen to be that.
Yeah, just like this podcast. Isn't necessarily about Filipino stuff, but we just happen to be Filipino.
You know, my heart is like, when choosing a partner, like, or being attracted, like, it's heavily swayed by my cock too. So it's very guided by my other head. And if, like, Asian, I think it's just the Asian porn that's really.
I think
why I like
I think
Asian
I'm with
girls.
Garcia too. I'm quite targeted, Like I have a preference. Like, I can't just be like, oh, it just happens to be that way.
Attraction's a big
It's
thing,
like
right?
I have a thing. Yeah, for me, it's like that's the basis of why I do anything. If I enjoy it, if I like it, if I like the topic, that's all it is. I think. So it's not just like, oh, they just happen to be.
Yeah.
Because of this.
I used to be one of those dudes, the ones that you mentioned earlier, how I want to be pure or whatever. I just want to date a Filipino woman, and who's, I don't know, going to be like my first and last one ever, and that's it. And then when that thing kind of like fell apart, it was like, well, maybe there's plenty of the fish in the sea.
What else is in this ocean?
Yeah.
I really like fishing.
There's also a really key thing we're missing too. Preference is just one thing, right? That's just one layer. It's just preference.
Yeah.
Preferences can change. People end up dating
Oh,
or liking things they don't even realize they like. Ending up with people like, I never knew I'd date someone like you. People say that all the time. I never knew I'd be doing this kind of job. I used to hate salespeople. I'm a salesperson now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's just one layer of it. It's not like, it's not final. Yeah. We're human. We evolve. We change. We're not going to be the same. Preferences change as we grow older, right? We're not going to be the same people we were 5 years ago. Like, things that I thought I liked back then, or thought I was like, I'd never be doing this kind of thing. Values can change. Well, you don't want to steer away from values too much.
Yeah, I'm a believer. If you're the same person that you were 10 years ago, then you gotta have to have a look at yourself. I'm a believer that you should be evolving every single day. Every single day should be a different person than you were then.
Striving to be better all the time.
That's it.
Growing.
And we didn't even touch because we're talking about dating particular races and preference in ethnicity. Like we didn't even touch anything about sexuality. That's a whole different ball game of where people
That's
are.
all the thing. Yeah, exactly.
It's a whole nother
Like
thing.
Yeah,
If you-
because if we're gonna be nitty gritty about
Yeah.
each everything, it's like I can't be like, well, I only date women. Oh, don't date guys.
Yeah.
That's sexist.
That's discriminating.
That's homophobic or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
to-
It's
to-
ridiculous, you know.
To our Patreon listeners, if you want us to talk about this stuff in more detail, or if you have questions, specific questions, hit us up. We can talk about it on another episode.
I want to do like a full episode on
Yeah,
this
let's
because
do
this
it.
is one of those topics that, you know, it's really, and I want to get more people involved, like guests and stuff, to have their opinions and their thoughts on interracial dating.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm in an interracial relationship. My wife's Indian and she's Hindu as well. So we're interfaith as well. So I'm Catholic, she's Hindu, and we have a son on the way. So we're gonna be
Ooh.
facing some.
Oh, wait, everyone knows already, eh?
That's good, yeah.
So we have like
He's on the way.
on the way, and
I was like, ooh, news.
No,
It's
no.
like, wait, we already announced that.
but like yeah, so we're gonna have to be in the future. We're gonna have to deal with the interfaith type of thing, where we're gonna be like, what type of religion we're gonna like, what type of culture where he's gonna be around. We're gonna try and teach him both ways, of and then eventually he just turns into, he's gonna be a very cultural person. He's gonna learn the Hindu
Very
culture as
worldly.
well as the Filipino culture.
You like, I don't know, if I had a kid, right, I'd mess with him and just like in that household, probably teach him how to eat with chopsticks, and just notice that no one else in the house eats with chopsticks. Just make him feel like, you know, am I different? Am I special?
I'm gonna make him use a spoon and a fork.
Yeah. He's
Hey,
the only one
you
that like walks barefoot.
You're going to make him use a knife and a fork and then rake the food onto the knife and then try to eat.
That's gangster, bro.
Yeah.
That's some gangster shit. Raking some rice onto.
But it's gonna be like a bread knife though.
Nah, there's gonna be a
I
steak.
mean, touche.
full
Oh,
steak.
fuck.
Far out.
I haven't done it with a steak knife as well. I eat it from the other side.
Yeah.
flip
You gotta
it
be
over.
so careful, but
Yeah, and then I eat it from this
not
side.
the serrated edge.
But yeah, this is a topic that we need to like dwell
Yeah.
deeper in the futures of like, and get some people involved just to talk about it, because you know it's an interesting topic. I want to hear other people's thoughts about the interracial dating thing, or they want to,
100.
or if there even people out there who want to just purely date Filipino, like or their own culture. Let us know.
Let's
that'd
do
be
a call. Let's call people and be like, "Hey, what's your thoughts about this?"
It's freaking like 8:00 at night.
Let's go have like one more layer of honesty, right? It's really not just want to date Asians. Again, like I was thinking before, I'm gonna purely date Filipino women, and then now it's really like I want to date Asians. Like I think if I want to get to the core of what the reason is, like I just want to date someone who potentially, if I was, you know, to build a home with them, like they'd cook rice, because all the other like. As long as you cook rice, I think we're gonna be sweet.
He wants someone who's going to defrost the chicken before
Yeah.
he gets.
Cook the rice.
Cook rice properly too. You know, what I mean, none of that really
you know,
dry
different
stuff.
cultures have different ways of cooking rice. So like they have the, you know, in Spain they have the paella. They have in Italy they have the risotto. So
Yeah, no. I want
Paella.
the,
or do you want
the
the just-
Asian rice?
it's pure plain rice.
Yeah, jasmine rice or Lion brand, triple A.
Hey.
Oh man.
I wanted to talk about because last week we talked about the Asian pride, like nostalgic,
Got rice.
Yeah.
like the list that we had when we talked about it. And one of those things that I realized like that we didn't talk about, not in the Asian pride era, probably like slightly after or maybe during, is the emo era, where every single Asian had a fringe.
Oh, not me.
Every single Asian listened to punk rock.
I listen. To
I like
punk
Good
rock.
Charlotte, but I never got into the
Every Asian
culture
was
of it,
emotional?
though.
I started listening to grunge
Yeah.
back in the early 2000s, and like listening to Korn and Slipknot and those types of bands.
Really?
And stuff. Yeah, man.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how I got into bands like Incubus and like all the rock and roll, the rock stuff. Yeah, I enjoyed listening to that kind of music.
Yeah, like there was
Foo
a stage.
Fighters,
It was
like,
like
I actually
there was a
enjoyed
stage where it was like it's all hip hop and R&B, and then out of nowhere, it just turned every Asian was listening to emo shit or even
I
rock
don't
shit.
know. I think I'm one of those ones, like for that genre, I just liked what sounded good and got played on the radio a lot. I never really bought albums or like listened to whole albums beyond just what got radio play.
It was there was a lot of like emo in quotation marks or like grunge or rock or pop rock music out in the like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
I think Hoobastank was one of those.
Hoobastank, then there was Simple Plan.
Yeah,
Simple
Simple
Plan was a
Plan.
big influence on like
Psalm
Asians.
41.
Psalm 41. My favorite was Dashboard Confessional.
Yeah.
Hands down probably one of the best tracks that I ever heard. It's awesome.
Some
out there.
41. Is he saying that it's got something to do with Asians because it's maths?
Probably. You never know. And then it
But it's
just
confusing. What do you sum it with? What are you summing 41 with?
Anything.
anything.
Anything
Life.
and everything.
Life.
And then I was like walking around and I was like, and then I saw a Karen walking with their Karen haircut.
Listening to...
No. Then I just looked at it and I'm like, that looks similar to what Asians were having in the early 2000s with they had the Karen before the Karen. They had the fringe
Goes over.
and it's long hair and it was dyed.
Yep.
And I was like, bro.
If you look back at any like of our youth group photos, all of the girls had that same haircut.
All the girls had the same haircut, the longer one, but they had the fringe as well. The fringe, everyone had
that
fringe.
went over to one side. I was like,
I mean, I tried. Like my hair wasn't straight enough to do the whole fringe stuff because I had when I was younger, my hair was kind of thick and curly ish.
yeah, the spiked stuff.
Yeah, like my
Yeah.
hair was spiky.
It was that was only the two options. It's the Karen haircut or the spiky haired haircut.
Yeah,
Depending on how
look
your
like
hair
Goku.
is. That's it, bro. But
That was Justin Bieber's like his Genesis kind of haircut. Hey,
that's it.
the thing that it looked
The
almost
fringe.
like a Lego.
And you do
But like more
yeah.
Asianized,
Really long.
you know, like
Yeah.
with the thin hairs. You know, and then it occurred to me that me and my mum went to the same hairdresser and came out with the same haircut. Because it was cool at the time. It was coll for the older titas and titos, and it was cool for the Asian little boys. And I was like,
Bro,
wow,
I can only imagine how sick your mum's beard would look. Man. Like,
bro. Now back then I didn't have a beard because I wasn't able to grow it because I was a teen. But like me and my mum were like matching everything. It was crazy.
Matching.
The hair was like the giveaway.
Did you both have like Louis Vuitton shit on? And
Nah, she didn't go with the FUBU. She didn't like the FUBU stuff I was wearing. She wouldn't wear the
Sean John.
shiny baggy jeans.
I know which ones you're talking about. They fucking shimmered, eh?
Yeah, shimmered, bro. Because you know how you like shiny stuff. I was like, yeah, man.
oh, man.
You got it from like what you call it,
Bro.
the marketplace and stuff for like $20 or something.
Man, like you know that look of like rappers back in the 90s. Everything's like all denim, like
It's all
DMX
baggy, bro.
frozen. Yeah,
Baggy
it's like baggy denim.
as.
So my first like job, that paying job, like legal, was McDonald's. Like a lot of people, and I remember my first paycheck. This was after 2 weeks. I did like fucking 15 hours or some shit, and then it was like $120 or some shit like that I'd saved up in my account.
Yeah.
Went to Parramatta and went to those like shops that sell all those like urban outfits.
Yeah.
Bro, I got this like fucking denim jacket. It was a 5XL. Even to this day, that shit would still be big on me.
To
bro.
this day.
But like I remember like I wore that shit a couple of times, and I just wanted to feel cool. Like I wore that shit like a coat, and then after about 2 weeks, I'm like, this is ridiculously big. Like I'm a big person, but this is just, it looks like a fucking blanket.
Yeah, you had to wear the like 2 sizes up than what you were.
You
Yeah.
were, you know what you were?
I was a large at the time.
You were the like the Western Sydney superhero, because it meant that you had a cape and everything.
Yeah, you're like Dick Tracy, but denim.
It's a FUBU one as well. It's so good. No, I put that shit in the boot of the car, and then I don't know, man. Kind of like fast forward. I think like 10 years later, we were cleaning out the boot of my car, and then that thing was just so flaky and shit. Remember that shit? We had to put gloves on to.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah,
Was that
it was
the-
denim.
that was
That was the jacket.
That
was that
jacket
the-
stayed there for 10 years?
Yep.
Shit.
You don't understand how dirty my car was, bro.
Was that the
Damn,
first
son.
Civic that you had? Was that the
Yeah.
first-
That boxy one.
Yeah, I remember.
We cleaned out the boot, and
Yeah.
I think some oil spilt on it, and that plus time means denim just flakes away like cardboard.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
You know?
Did you have the shiny pants? Shiny pants.
I
was the one.
had that shit.
Yeah.
I stole them too.
Shiny pants.
Shiny pants.
I had the
bro.
I had the microfiber pants.
This was the just after it.
I had like when in early 2000s, because of the grunge and because of the the rock music, I had cargo pants and also cargo shorts.
You had
I still wear cargo shorts.
you-
I think it's just
I do too, actually.
I think it's
a
just a dad
bro.
thing, bro.
the leather wristbands as well, huh?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
leather
that shit.
wristbands.
Wow.
The conch shells.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the-
Oh, yeah, I had the shells, bro.
Shell necklace.
My look was like, you know.
Dude, you were mad surfy back
Yeah,
then.
I had a
Actually, when I met
before-
you were a surf guy.
Yeah.
You worked at surf.
Yeah, before that, I was like middle surf. I was like surfy dipset before.
Middle surf.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
like baggy
dipset.
clothes.
Was it you that worked at
Surfy
the?
dips.
I worked at Surf Dive.
Yes,
Yeah. I did, and then once I worked at Surf Dive for about 5 years,
shell necklaces.
surfed out. Yeah, man. It was
Do you
good.
know how to surf?
Were you going for
I
like
don't know
a
how
new,
to surf,
new
but I know
vibe, eh?
I know how to prepare one. I
Did
know
you
how to prepare a
skateboard? Did you
surfboard.
skateboard at all?
Pretty good.
No, but I know how to prepare one. Hey, bro, retail. You don't need to learn about the culture. You just need how to prepare the shit.
That's wild. You didn't even have to know anything about the
This
the fashion.
Raph, like he's rapping in his like music videos, just like waxing a board or something.
Yeah.
I was rapping in like fucking surf clothes, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I had a music video with a
were you
Billabong
inspired by
shirt.
Kanye? Were you inspired by Kanye? Because like he was trying to bring backpacking, so you're like, I'm gonna take it to another.
Hey.
level.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring surfing.
Surfing.
I don't even
Surf
know.
rap.
I don't even know the
Surf
culture.
He was inspired by Jack Johnson, bro.
Jack Johnson.
Here with my surfboard.
Hey, bro. If there's the niche, you gotta tackle it, bro. You never know. There could be like surf rap out there, bro.
Waxing my board, then waxing that ass.
I feel like early Aussie hip hop was kind of surf rap.
Yeah,
I think about it.
Oh man.
but yeah. That was it, like,
Waxing that ass.
The stages of friggin' life, bro.
I remember, because we back when I would go to church, years ago, it was Christmas, and the church was holding a Christmas event, and there was this emo kid who, like, jet black hair with the fringe, with the spiky bracelets and all this stuff. He was clearly an emo kid. Was wearing also a Christmas hat, like a Santa hat. And I just remember thinking, like, I hate my parents, but Merry Christmas.
I didn't get the present I wanted.
I haven't been a bad boy. How can I be a bad boy when my life is bad?
My life is terrible. I only got 3 presents.
I hate my parents, but I hope they know to still be Santa Claus.
That whole emo thing is just a fucking funny. Like,
Bro.
I think we're in agreement that everyone wishes it never happened.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
Like the fringes I get, but like it's like you incorporated the whole emo lifestyle into your life. Like everyone had their MSN name with the sad as shit. Like, oh my God, are
Like
you okay?
The people that went through it, they're like, oh, I'm fucking embarrassed. And the people that didn't go through it, it's like, yeah, I'm embarrassed for you, bro.
I mean,
let's just pretend it didn't happen.
I mean,
It's
it
kind
was
of like with the Asian Pride.
Yeah.
Asian Pride. Noticed in the comments, everyone was a bit embarrassed of their own thing.
They're just like, I'm guilty. I still got those handles.
I feel attacked.
Yeah, but I think it's just depending on what we wanted to identify as, because growing up as a teenager, no idea what our identity was.
Yeah. You're
Like,
trying
I had-
to figure out what you are. Huh?
Yeah, and I think for a time I was like, oh yeah, I'm a grunge rocker. I wanted to do the headbanging and like boom the pop pop, like from Korn and whatever.
Was it?
Boom the pop pop.
That's Korn, hey.
Yeah. Do you remember that song? Freak on a Leash.
That sounds very
Freak on a
reggae without the context.
That's.
Hey, did you say you liked Slipknot?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I used to listen to
You were into
Slipknot. Yeah.
I used to listen to that too. So you remember how I told you guys I grew up in a white school? I was only Filipino. So my first genre was actually punk rock as well, eh?
Yeah.
That's how I learned skateboarding and shit.
Just like, you know how when people give you like a tape or a CD of hip hop or R&B or all that stuff. When I went to this high school, it was predominantly Caucasian. There was a mix of people, but mostly Caucasian. And one of my mates was like, "Hey, do you like Korn?" And I'm like, "I've never heard of them." He's like, "Bro, I'll record you." He gave
I'm
me a
surprised
tape.
you didn't say like, yeah, man, I love corn.
Will you have butter and some salt and pepper?
What about some salt? squeeze a little bit of lime and some
Put
cheese
some
on that.
tahini on that
That'll
shit.
be
Make some
elote.
elote.
Yeah.
What's that? It's raining again.
Marge,
It's the rains are here.
But yeah, and he gave me that, like a cassette tape of Korn, and I remember listening to it, and I'm just like, oh, this is amazing. There's so much energy.
Oh no, man. My like, I suppose, you know, we were saying that it was like an identity kind of thing. We're trying to figure out, am I this or whatever?
Yeah.
Now, like last episode, we were saying like the whole Asian pride thing and the Asian gangs. That's why I was wearing like microfiber shit. And then the Sean John stuff and the FUBU, because it's like, oh yeah, hip hop. I think it was me trying to figure out what girls wanted. And then that like would dictate what I would want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you saw Chris Brown do Run It and like baggy shit, and then like, you know what? Girls like Chris Brown.
Oh,
I'm gonna copy that shit.
I found the niche, right? Because I like since you know, and I've been like shaving my head,
Yeah.
and like the whole hip hop thing kind of like it worked for me. Like I got the finger bang, so I stuck with hip hop. Like
When I was younger, I was like, girls like Elton John. I'm gonna sing Elton John.
there's a whole bunch of guys who are like, oh, look at his arms. Candle in the wind, eh?
It's legit though. The first song that I ever performed when I was younger was "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" by Elton John
Yes.
from Lion King.
Girls will like Elton John.
Girls like Elton
They'll
John.
definitely want to fuck me now. I want to show them my Rocket Man. Oh, he was wrong.
Rocket Man.
Man, this is the same reason Don was like singing "Living La Vida Loca." God.
Oh man, girls will love me.
Oh man, girls will love this. First I was afraid, I was petrified.
I'm coming out.
I want the world to know.
It's funny though. It's funny. Like I remember I wanted to work out because I thought, you know, girls are gonna notice me if I work out, and I think I've said it on the podcast before. But it just meant that more dudes noticed me. They're like, bro, your arms are getting big. Bro, yo, you look good, man. Like, there would be no girls approaching me being like, hey, you looking like really good. Just lots of guys. There was one time, I don't even remember the dude's name. We were at Starbucks just hanging out. And I was sitting down and the guy's like, bro, your quads are massive. And he started touching my legs. And I'm like, no, thanks. Just no touching zone,
How long did you
please.
go out with him for?
Rocket Man.
Here's a tip though, if you're like trying to get in with a girl and you know what their family like, and if you got a dad bod, just wear the same shit a dad like wears. You kind of playing in that thing where, because if her dad's like a good man, she knows. Like it's like a subconscious thing. She'd be like, "Oh,
You're talking psychology.
yeah, Christian seems like a good dude." Because
Yeah.
I just naturally look like her dad.
I think in terms of like, if you are trying to find what your personality is,
Shout out to New Balance 247
and the dad jeans,
and white polo tees.
white polo
You're like,
tees,
you're like Dr. Phil for finger banging, bro. So good, bro.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Wow. Like if you're trying to figure out your personality, you don't necessarily make one thing your personality, because I think for a long time I was pigeonholed as the guitar guy.
Yeah.
Or like, I was the boxing guy, or was the singer guy. And then I
You should
realized
box people while you sing.
I realized this thing. Garcia came over one time. This is ages ago. I don't know if you remember this, but you picked up my sunglasses. You put on like my boxing headgear. You put on my boxing gloves. You picked up my guitar, and like I think you were wearing one of my like my chains or my necklaces or something. And you're like, "Hey Don, who am I?" And I was like, "Holy crap! All of those things make me."
On the Don uniform, or that was his uniform.
It's like, you know me more than I know myself.
Oh man. You even had a microphone. You like to hold the microphone. I don't know how you held the microphone with boxing gloves on.
That's talent, bro.
That was magic, man. I've been working that out. I've got abs on my fingers. I've got abs on my fingers.
Oh no. Oh man.
All right, man. Whenever I need to get my life saved and it needs some strong fingers to save my life, I'll call you, bro.
Wow.
Because I know you've got the exercise.
Get my strong hand.
Can I use your other hand? No, this is my strong hand. This is my strong
Sorry.
hand.
Picking up
Garcia's
mashed
also
potato.
motioning with his hands for all the listeners out there. Watch the YouTube video if you want to see what motion he's making.
We're not continuing this finger banging conversation.
Scary movie reference.
Oh man.
Bro.
That's where I found success, like with the whole hip hop look.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I think I stuck with the shaved head and
the reason.
And wore like I've like Timberlands and shit, you know.
Oh,
like
you went
that.
for all out.
Bro, and I stuck with it too, man. I didn't try the whole emo stuff out.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I just found like that I was comfortable in that. I don't know if you want to pigeonhole it there, but I don't know. I think it's a good look. In some ways, it was kind of coming back too. And I think that was a good idea.
I saw somewhere there was like a dude wearing a vest. and just like a normal tee and a vest.
Sorry.
And I was like, I'm gonna wear that.
Do you want to hit him?
And that became.
I think you were like, you want to hit him or something.
No, I was like, I'm
hit
gonna
him.
wear that, and that became my thing for
Guy Sebastian wore it.
you guys know. It was
Wait,
like
Elton John wore a vest, didn't he?
maybe.
I think it
Probably.
was George Michael.
I was like, oh,
Yeah, I mean, I think it was what's it called?
Baby.
The song from More Than Words. The rock group. They would wear the vests.
Yeah.
And also Wayne's World. They were just wearing a vest but nothing underneath. And I'm like, maybe that's where I was influenced. I thought that was cool.
I was surprised you didn't have a beret, bro. Backwards. A backwards beret would have completed the look.
backwards Kangol hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Would have.
Now, you know who did have that? Ken had that.
Yeah, my brother had that. And I tried it. I wore it once and I went, nah, I'm not feeling it.
Trying to look like Samuel Jackson. Just calling everyone motherfucker or some shit.
I'm sick of these damn.
Oh, bro, that's funny.
Oh, man.
Man, my thing was just like fucking romantic music and shit. Like I'd make mixtapes of romantic songs.
Yeah?
Still is, man. I think
Still is, bro. Like,
I think
I
your
still
thing
like
is
R&B, bro. Now I just clean to it.
He's
already.
romantic.
I like all the lovey-dovey shit, bro. That's me, bro.
But that's just being self-aware. I love the whole R&B shit too, man. You let the
Yeah, let the music talk.
song talk
Woo.
for you, bro.
Set the mood, boo.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for, bro.
Boys to Men has got me laid so many times.
Thanks, Wanye.
Yeah.
Dong, dong, dong,
Genuine
dong.
Pony. TLC's like Red Light Special.
Oof.
Oh my
That was,
god.
you're just outlining my mixtape, bro.
All the listeners out there, if you've made it this far, what's in your playlist? What's in
Now,
your?
what was in your baby making CD playlist? Like,
I had for me, it was called the Love List, like LUV, Love List,
yeah,
and just
First track is Crocodile Rock.
not Bush.
But I had that. Yeah, I had that was the name of my playlist. What was your? All the listeners out there, what was in
The
your
love
playlist?
list.
Love List. Yeah.
Loveless. Because he was loveless.
Oh. Wait, were you using this as bait to like
Bait?
someone that
No.
you want to date or whatever? Or like,
Nah.
Can we
Because
call it
that's like-
courting?
oh,
Why do I
yeah,
have to call it? Why do I have to call it bait for? It's not our prey.
it is kind of because like you're a guy, you're putting out all this stuff that you want to try and like attract a mate.
What's
or
the
whatever.
Filipino word for courting again? Because like that was used a lot in my like teen.
I always thought court.
legal one.
Legal.
Legal.
Yeah.
Legal.
Nagliligaw.
Legal. That's
Lugo.
yeah. That's what it reminded me of. I was like,
Did you lugaw your girlfriend?
Why would I want to give her soup? Actually, that might be a good idea.
I mean, if she likes congee, if she likes, give her some lugaw.
legal. Yeah, that was it.
um,
That was it. Yeah.
Legal.
Bait.
Hopefully she legaled as well. That was horrible.
That's another episode. I hope she legal too.
Man. Yeah.
Housekeeping. So this Friday, if you are listening to this now freshly on our Spotify or on our YouTube, on Friday the 29th, we have a live stream on our Patreon where we're going to do some wine tasting.
Yeah, with Siggy from 7,000 Islands.
Yes, so we are gonna try different high end wines because Siggy, who is his aim is to join the wine culture with the Filipino culture. So trying to figure out which type of wines go with which type of Filipino foods.
Yes.
And trying to bring more of a presence in wine in the Filipino culture. So, like, now this is a great way of doing it because I'm not a wine person. Are you a wine person?
Nah, dude.
You a wine
I've
person?
enjoyed wine before.
Of course you are. And Nats, are you a wine person?
Drink with your
I
pinky
mind
out.
a wine now and then, sneaky wine here and there. But
Sneaky bevy.
it's okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
sherry.
And then we're gonna have some special guests as well to drink some wine with us, and when we'll just share our thoughts on wine and the Filipino culture.
We're just gonna have friends. We're just gonna have a bunch of friends.
Bunch
our
of friends.
come around.
You know, this is our only way of getting like a hangout and inviting people.
Yeah, it really is.
This is my only way to hang out with these guys. Really,
Do you guys want to do a wine tasting?
I'll drive.
It's for the.
Come on, let's go. Let's make some content.
That's what it is.
Be my friend. Make content. You know, now thinking about it, all my life with friends, all I've done was make content.
He's like, hey, Nats, we should hang out. Let's make a music video.
Let's make music. Let's make music. And then Nats was like, oh, let's hang out. And then I'm like, let's go Starbucks. Oh, let's do a podcast
You can't make
in the
content.
car right now.
It's just.
I can't hang out, eh? Like, I need to do something with someone to hang out. It's just awkward.
That's it, man. I feel that's kind of like me now. Like,
I think even now,
I gotta make content
I feel
with
like
someone.
I get tired. Like, so being social is really exhausting for me. If there's no like
Purpose.
united,
I feel
there's
you,
no
man.
like, you know, even if you talk, like, if we hang out and we're talking about the podcast, then you know we probably will when I come back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We're gonna talk
it's
about
still-
what we're doing.
I'm the same. It's
We're not
that's,
actually gonna be like, "How's your life?" I don't give a fuck. Don't care what you.
I don't give a fuck about what you did today. Let's do what we're doing now and talk about content.
what is it that Jaden Smith said? He's like, you know, let's talk about the political climate of the world or something.
Oh, God.
I don't want to hear about how many followers you have. Well, let's talk about the political climate. of the
Fucking
world.
Will Smith should have slapped him. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ.
Poor kid. Anyway, so on the 29th, we're going to be doing a wine tasting with Siggy from 7,000 Islands.
Hey.
If you're on our Patreon, check that episode out. If you're not on our Patreon, sign up to the Patreon at www.thecheatcoders.com. The link to our Patreon will be on there.
Have the drink ready.
All right, guys. Welcome to the show. But welcome back to the show. We have a guest, and you know what? When it happens when we have a guest, it becomes a special episode because we have a special guest. So this guy right here, I've known this guy for about a year now. Got introduced to me by a close friend, and we just mesh really well with like content creating and ideas. And I really like his plan of getting the wine culture blended into the Filipino culture. So we got Mr. 7,000 Island Co. himself. We got Siggy. How you doing, Siggy?
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, he's got the wine ready, of course. Like we got the Red Horse right here, right in front of us.
One bottle of Red
One
Horse
bottle.
between the three of us.
You know that
A
scene?
long neck,
You know
yeah.
you know the scene from Batman with the Joker where he chops the one stick to battle it out for the final spot. So this is the
bottle.
This is the one bottle. The other two will be designated drivers. Well,
Hoping to
unfortunately,
change that.
this Friday I am being the DA, the DD,
The what?
the DD.
Right.
Sorry,
Yeah,
DA was
double
your
D,
name.
yeah.
I was being the double D, the designated driver for this Friday. We're having a
Wine tasting.
wine tasting live stream, and if you missed the live stream, it'll stay on our Patreon for the rest of its existence. So
Yeah.
if you do miss it, don't feel like you missed everything. So we got Siggy here. He's gonna help us go through the wines. Do you have the wines prepared in your mind?
Tell us what can we expect for Friday?
Yeah, I think just what you guys can expect is just to start exploring the world of wine. Look, man, I came from the same postcode as some of you guys, right?
Hey.
From Hasselgrove 2761, right?
Shout outs.
That's it.
Shout out to my hood. I went to Loyola College.
Hey.
Hey. Spent lots of time at Mount Druitt Marketown.
Hey.
And then Mount Druitt Westfield.
Hey.
So, a similar experience. I'm Filipino, but I grew up here, and it's a big part of my identity. So, when it comes to the wine piece, my wine journey was when I was introduced to it working at the Roxy in Parramatta.
Hey.
Wow.
And
what
I
a
had to
throwback.
serve wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, throwback. I don't even know if it's still around.
It's
but
still around. No one's knocking it down. It's a
No
whole,
one's knocking it
it's
down.
like a heritage
a
piece.
heritage.
Heritage. And my first wine was a white wine Riesling glass, Annie's Lane, from Adelaide Hills, and I still remember it. It was bloody magic. So I'm hoping that I'm able to introduce it to you guys and show that it can match with your lifestyle and it can match with our food.
Yeah.
So I've got a white, rosé,
Love it.
and a red wine for the night. I'll try and keep it light so that we can enjoy the evening. Yeah,
Hey, bro, when it comes to wine, I trust you. It's like when it comes to gymming and trying to be fit, I trust Garcia. I mean, I trust Todd.
Bro,
It's like,
he does not trust you at all.
it's just one of those things. Like when you have perfected the art of what you do, whatever you bring to me, I'm gonna consider the best of the best.
Are you going to do some food pairings on the day as well, or are you going to keep it just strictly to the wine?
strictly to the wine.
Yeah.
The food pairing is probably a whole other episode that we can do, Don.
Yeah.
And coincidentally doing a food pairing with Anna from the president of the Filipino food movement.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to
The
them.
following night. So it's quite a different crowd, a little bit more serious when it comes to food. They're a bit
Like
more-
we are a bit more serious
We're
when it comes
serious
to
about
we're
food.
super serious. You know, like
I'm not.
I think I'm going to be wearing a suit
like-
that night, and then with you guys, I'm just going to be wearing a t-shirt. So
that's it, bro. Hey, bro. You know, since like, what's your size? We're gonna give you a Cheatcoders t-shirt. That's
what's my size?
I'm gonna
think
give it.
I used to be like Don. I used to like tight, but I think now that I'm a little bit less muscly, probably a medium is good for me.
I'll give you a medium, bro. Like, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the faces, as in like that you can clearly see, or do you prefer the pixelated faces,
Or just the classic
or do you just the classic logo?
with the logo.
What do you prefer?
I want your faces, man. I want your
Hey,
faces on my chest.
there you go. Love that shit. I'll give it
If
to
I
you
had
on
$1
Friday.
for every time somebody said that, I'd have $1.
You'd have so
like, yeah,
so
Like
Yeah, go.
what made you want to pair the wine culture with the Filipino culture?
because it works. It's nuts that from my time with it that we aren't doing it. Like I have mates who are Philo, Aussie, that are big foodies that would travel to Tasmania or travel to St. Moritz in Europe and try food. But when I say to them, hey, have you tried, this wine with adobo? And they're like, no, it's just not done. So it's kind of weird. I find that this is strange. And I even went as far as researching it. So I actually paid a company to look at Filipinos in the Philippines and here and wine culture and some of their habits. And one of the strange things was that Filipinos, and I don't know if it's the same for you guys, they either drink before the start of the meal, like water or beer, or after. And that's it.
Never
With the
in between.
exception of pulutan, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
the exception of beer match, it's either they drink before or after, but not with their meal. So it's kind of like a cultural thing, I think. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Someone brought that to my attention because I don't drink until after I finish, unless it is something like
I could say it's just a cultural thing.
yeah, maybe it was a cultural thing, but I would have like water after a meal, but that was specifically after a meal. I wouldn't drink in between, unless I was having like chicken or beer and chicken and or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
the
like
finger food
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finger food styles.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like I feel like alcohol is more so just when you're about to have a good time. I would never consider alcohol as a thing that I drink when I'm just having dinner, like type of thing. It's more so a social thing for me, as in like, yeah. But yeah, I'll talk more about it on the live stream for sure.
I used to enjoy because I did food prep. Like for the week, I used to do that. I used to cook, and I would on a weekend I would spend like a few hours cooking, and I'd play some like some jazz music or like hip hop music, and then I'd drink a bottle of wine as I'm cooking because it would take me 4 hours to do all this cooking for the week.
Nice.
But it wasn't necessarily me pairing it with anything. It was just like, I'm just gonna drink this bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I know. I think we pair our alcohol with our emotions. Whatever emotion that we're feeling. Like if we're heartbroken, it would be the tequila, the vodkas, the shots, all that stuff, and then probably the red wine. Like if I'm feeling like I need to just chill out and just drink after a hard working week, it'd be beer.
Yeah.
Like, and wine was never in my radar. Like it was never in my radar. It was always beers or spirits. That was me.
I really like what you're trying to do with this whole food pairing with Filipino food because something that I've noticed with my family, with my parents specifically, they like to have. My dad's started to like red wine.
Okay.
I think for him it's just
the usual journey. Yeah.
yeah. It's just like it's like I'll have a glass of red wine. I think for him there's no such thing as food pairing. It's still no matter what he's eating.
It's wine.
Yeah, he's just gonna drink red wine. But I think there is that there is a wine culture in Australia, and because of a result of us living here, that that automatically melds with the stuff that we eat. So I think it's
100%.
Yeah. Is there any other pairings that you've noticed besides like wine and adobo? Is there particular
Plenty.
pairings?
Anything
that you can share
yeah.
for the audience of this podcast already?
Oh, right.
taste.
So what
teaser.
time is it now? 8:51. Look, an easy one is like it's dessert, right? So if you have, say, for example, leche flan or leche plan, depending how Filipino you are.
Leche plan.
Firstly, I'd always have it with whiskey, like a Lagavulin.
Oh,
Whiskey.
Something
and
that's
leche
really
plan,
creamy and it's got that burnt caramel.
Actually,
Burnt
that
barrel
makes sense.
flavor.
mate.
It really works.
Yeah.
And add. I'm getting chills actually. Add vanilla ice cream with it, or butterscotch. Yum. Right, but if you wanted to use a wine, Australian one, I can think of a couple. An aged Semillon from Hunter Valley. It's got about 10 years on it. Really sweet, tastes like honey, smells like jasmine. Really almondy, nutty kind of flavor coming through. Really complements the leche flan. Or something a sweet sticky wine from King Valley. So yeah, look, that's one for tonight. People probably got some ice cream or leche flan in the fridge.
I'm salivating. Are you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
salivating?
yeah.
Just
Yeah, man.
I had to wipe my mouth real quick, bro.
So the story. My partner, she loves food. Right, I like food too, but I am functional. I'll just eat it. I'm hungry, I eat. But when I get really excited is when liquid is involved. And I'm always remember this moment where I went to this Bangladeshi restaurant in Sydney, by the way, down in Surrey Hills called Bang. And it's unfortunately it's closed now due to COVID.
Oh.
But they had every single Bangladeshi dish paired with a phenomenal Portuguese wine. So like the food was already up here.
Yeah.
But then the wine combination just took it like right up to the roof. And that's sort of my goal with Filipino food and
like
Aussie
that.
wine.
I like that because
Yeah.
it's not just the food now; it's an experience, right?
Yeah, totally experience. So I had 3 Filipino chef friends over last week. We were doing 3 different kinds of adobo, one from Luzon, Cebuano one, and one from the south. And
I didn't even know there was different types of adobo.
I didn't know too.
hang out
I
with
was
you
like,
guys,
shit.
bro. Like, our plan is like, let's go watch a movie, and you guys are like, let's go figure out these 3 different adobos and make them and figure it out.
Totally. And look, there was wines and there was dishes that were great on its own, and I'd just rather have it on its own. But together, it was just like different. Like you're on another planet. So It'll be
son.
cool to explore that with you guys and with the Filipino food movement Australia. Yeah,
I'm
as,
excited.
over the next few months, yeah, and just show people are actually already doing this. They're just not doing it. Like it's like when I was going to school, because I know you guys joke around and call me Kuya or Tito. Sometimes it was embarrassing to come to school with like your little baon from home and your rice.
I feel
But
that.
I think now it's okay. It's normal,
man.
isn't it?
Yeah. For sure, man.
Yeah. If you make fun of anyone that brings baon, screw you.
I'm kind of like thinking now people come into work with their like, Filipino food.
Yeah.
After teasing us during like school days,
Yeah.
but now they'll also have like a little wine to go with their Filipino food. Right?
We're not, like now we're gonna change the narrative, and then instead of going to like bringing it to like work and stuff, we're bringing it to the after work drinks.
Yeah.
When they have the after work drinks and they have the wine, it's like, oh, you're bringing red wine. Maybe I should like pair it up with some good
Corned
old
beef.
straight up corned beef. Is there a wine for like corn silog?
Yeah.
Like if you were like hungover and
breakfast
stuff, and you
wine.
just want a breakfast wine. Like, what's a good wine?
Breakfast
for,
wine?
for
Oh
the
my
morning?
goodness.
For the morning, yeah, have a sparkling. That'll wake you up.
That's it. Like we'll get that. We get the corn silog ready, and then go nuts.
Yeah, so sparkling white wine with a bit of mango juice, a bit of hair of the dog in the morning. Yeah, that'll work.
Hey, this guy knows it all.
Mate.
Because
I
you
need
have
to hang out- I need to hang out with you
mango,
more
right?
What are your thoughts on people drinking wine out of a plastic bag
Or box.
and the straw?
Yeah, look, I've done it. It's
You're not
it's
a
pretty.
goonie.
No,
It's a goon bag,
Like,
yeah.
like the way we serve Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that works, man. Hey, look, when I was in Pamplona doing the running of the bulls, the Spanish people called that calimocho.
Oh, it's an actual thing.
Wow, it
It's
was
an
a legit
actual thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, theirs was a little bit fancier. Their plastic bag was actually like had a strap, but they did.
Oh, so you didn't drop it.
So when you're running from the bulls, like you can still drink.
That's what you need.
I mean, fair.
That's what you need to think about. Is like
Yeah.
when you're getting chased by bulls.
They
It's like,
thought
am I
about this.
sober? Am I sober?
Well, you can't do it when you're sober, right? Because who would choose to run like with a bull if you're not drunk? You know what I mean? That's a decision you make when you're not completely.
That's
like,
when you get
thinking
alcohol involved.
straight.
You already gave up. The bull's gonna hit you already. Because like you're gonna lose all your function of thinking.
Yeah.
You just gave up. I'm just gonna drink this wine.
I
and
swear,
I'm just gonna.
I wouldn't do that again. Like I was
you
pretty
did it.
dumb. Yeah, but I did it. Yeah. And you're right, Garcia. Like we pretty much drunk to make sure that you got that bravery
Yeah,
for the next day.
Far out.
And
liquid courage.
liquid
Holy
courage.
shit.
Yeah.
I
And also
use
to
liquid
numb-
courage to talk to girls. You just went the next level. It's like I need this
To
liquid.
go up
I
against
need the liquid courage
dangerous
so I can
beasts.
take on this bull.
Maybe that bull was just after your goon bag. He didn't really want to hurt you.
And you had red wine for sure. Eh?
Yeah.
He's just chasing the red of the wine. This guy.
Oh,
I can
man.
smell you.
Look, we're really excited to pick your brain and talk to you about all these wines on Friday, man. I just having this conversation, talking about leche flan mixed paired with like whiskey.
Ooh.
Oh, I want
Ooh,
to
I
go
do
got
with
it.
so many
Yeah,
questions,
do it.
bro.
Do it.
man.
Yeah. Do it.
How about a
Yeah.
halo halo alcoholic? Is there such a thing as a halo halo with alcohol in it?
There probably is.
Probably.
There is. Look, without revealing too much, so we'll be.
Ooh, there's secrets.
Secrets.
Yeah, there is.
Secrets.
There is a ube liqueur coming out of the Philippines.
Hey,
Oh,
let's just
But,
cut it
yeah.
there. Let's just cut it
Yeah.
there. So,
and that's
don't-
another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast.
That's another. Yeah,
bro,
that's another episode.
I am
and-
down for
yeah.
that, bro. I am so down for
And
that.
where yeah.
So, like, do you have any wines getting released under your company or anything in the future, or any type of thing
Any-
that you want to promote?
Anything that you can share with us right now?
Yeah.
Right now, yeah. Look, we've got a new wine coming out in June.
Hey.
It's called Oro Plata Mata, which is Spanish or Filipino, depending on how you see it. Sweet that it actually stands for OPM, because that can mean many things.
Hey.
Like
Wow.
original Filipino music,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
it.
clever. That's clever.
or a few other things if you have quite a dirty mind. So
Yep.
yeah.
Opiates. Yep.
Hang
yep.
on.
But in English, it means gold, silver, or death. which is the pop culture term. But like, if you the middle ground
That's
is
crazy.
gold, silver, or chance. But like, look, the deepest Tagalog meaning actually means earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
gold, silver, and earth, which is taking a chance when you say, for example, you grow a crop.
Right.
What
I want
nature
to
gives you.
attend. I want to attend your Olympics.
Maybe-
It's like you're either gonna have the gold medal, silver medal,
or
And then
Death.
kill him.
or death medal.
Oh, wow.
I like to imagine like the sommelier is just like, oh, we've got this lovely wine from here. It's like from 7,000 Islands. The name means gold, silver, or death. It pairs really well with all of
It pairs with all these Filipino foods,
and it
So
also
nice.
pairs well with death.
That's how my dad treated my my high school like report card as well. So either I come first, second, or
or death.
Nothing.
forget it. Don't come home.
I mean, think about I think about all of my white uncles and aunties when the first time they look at Filipino food, particularly like something like dinuguan, right?
Yeah.
It's either going to be gold, delicious, yummy, or somewhere in the middle, like I'm gonna spew. Yeah.
Yeah, it's either one or between.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
hey man, like where can they find you, bro?
Yeah. Plug your socials.
Just find us on socials, 7000islands.com.au, or our Instagram handle at 7000 islands with an S. Yeah, and you'll be able to find us there.
You've been doing
And
so
that's-
well with the social
Yeah.
like media. It's been crazy.
You
that's-
liking it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The song choices are amazing.
I was a bit nervous with Garcia's one because I was like, okay, well, I've been watching your stuff and, Garcia, we haven't really met. I've met Raf. And I was like, I don't know if he's a sexual guy. I don't know if I could put
Right, it's
my
in the
neck,
name.
my neck, my
It's
back.
wild fuck.
I mean, look at him. He is, man.
we allocate 10 minutes a week for him to talk about dicks.
About sex.
Yeah, sex.
And then, but Garcia introduced me to Najubs.
Nujabis.
Nujabis,
Yeah.
that guy sounds sick.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's passed on now as
Passed on,
well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
his
Yeah.
music lives forever.
Yeah,
bro.
But like that's like a musician's dream,
It
right?
was like
To
the
be
Japanese Jay Dilla type of vibe, Like, yeah. I love
yeah,
that
really
shit.
digging his beats. Yeah, and then for Don, because he's like the musician, I was just like, man, there's a bit of pressure. What am I gonna get for this guy? And I landed on your song, which was what was your song again?
It was Billie Jean mixed with if your girl only
If
knew.
Your Girl Only Knew. And I was like, I think he's got, I don't know. I think he's got a fan club, so I'm not sure if I'm going to ruin it for him by playing this song.
Nah, it's good. I like the remix. Yeah, your choice of music, man, it's good. It's really good.
Love it. Hey.
Sweet, yeah. We're really stoked to be coming on this Friday. I've been talking to Raf for ages. We need to create some content and get this stuff going.
Yeah, man. And
Hopefully
also-
we can. Yeah, sorry, go.
Change the narrative is exactly is
Yeah.
all in the marketing, and then that's something that we're really excited about because that's what we're all about.
And big up to you guys. Look, I can be your uncle, but I don't want to be. I didn't have any Filipino role models in Australia when I was growing up. So the stuff that you guys are doing is pretty cool. I never had that kind of thing around. We had kind of Phil Koss and Best of the Best, which I don't know if that stuff's still around, but that's pretty cool to see you guys helping to change the narrative of Western Sydney, championing the talent that's out there, because the energy there is crazy and it deserves that kind of attention.
Hey.
And I don't have any postcode shame, so with telling people where I grew up,
Yeah.
what school that I went to, because I haven't done that bad. I've been around to
Hey,
a
that's
lot of places, and
Yeah.
I've got my own company now, so
Yeah, 100%.
it's who made me, and it's a good tie into wine as well, because wine is all about where it's from and what made it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey.
respect to you guys. Yeah.
For
Awesome.
for
Thanks,
context, I don't think any of us have referred to you as a Tito or a Kuya or anything like that. But if we ever did, man, that wouldn't be a bad thing. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a bad thing. For
You
sure.
just have to wait till we monopoly you, and then when that
Oh
happens,
no, Yeah, that was Tin. That was Tin and sorry, Jamie and,
Shout out to
and her
them.
cousin. I was like, what are these guys doing?
They literally came in like the first time meeting him, and then Mano put Shout out to Jamie. Love that
Shout
shit.
outs.
All right, so this Friday from 7:30 Eastern Australian time to 8:30, we'll be live streaming and doing a little wine tasting, trying the best of the wines, and talking about our wine experiences and our Filipino experiences at the very same time. So tune in then on Friday, 7:30 to 8:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Or if you miss that, it'll stay on our Patreon, patreon.com/the Cheatcoders. Shout outs to Siggy. Thanks for joining the show.
Thanks, mate.
And we'll
Cheers,
see
guys.
you on Friday.
See you on Friday.
Cheers.
And for the rest of the people out there, you have just now listened to another episode of the Cheatcoders. Find us on cheatcoders.com or follow us at the Cheatcoders. And cut.